said Lyndon would go to the tree and do some ASMR for you, Lethal. In your honor.
I'm so sorry. He'd be hugging that tree. And then he'd be punching it and slapping it, going, "You took my friend." Kicking it. How dare you?
That would be you, Rhino.
Nah.
Boy.
I'd be there going, "Why? Fuck you, Disney! Why?" G'day, guys, and welcome back to Casual Rage 38. We are here today. Obviously, we missed last week. I do apologize for that with everything that was going on with the lockdowns and everything. It was too hard to kind of schedule it in and know that I'm actually going to be able to do it. So we're here this week. We're going to talk. We've got a bit to talk about because, of course, we've got 2 episodes of Bad Batch to talk about, and we've got 2 episodes of Loki to talk about. But we do have a couple of other little things. Charles, thank you for getting your tail in the way of my intro. You fucking piece of shit. All right, let's go around the horn and say hello to everyone. Tim, Open Airlock Policy, again, welcome, and thank you for being here. How are you?
I'm doing great. As you know, I have a little bit of news as of last night, and I've got some more bourbon here in celebration. I did this when I reached 4,000 hours, so here's some for the actual monetization. And at some point, I'm going to have the actual stream. So the narrative's fucked.
The narrative's fucked. Well done. Congratulations. That's great news. Getting you monetized was awesome.
Yeah, and thanks to you guys and many others. It's been fun, more importantly than being monetized, the fucking fun that we've had over the last year.
I tell you what, you got there quite quickly, and it's a credit to your content. It's proof that what you're actually doing is something that you want to put out there. And, you know, one of his best videos in my eyes has been one of his more recent ones, to be honest with you, and it's that documentary. A lot of time and effort you can see went into that. So if you haven't watched it, go and watch that. That was absolutely brilliant.
Lots more coming.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you, sir.
Greg, Lost Jedi 22. We've lost the John China and the Tuscan Bob title. How are you today? Yep.
Oh, my browser just froze up on me. I didn't hear what you said. Sorry.
Okay, let me start again. Greg, how are you? We've got Lost Jedi 22, and we've lost the John China and the Tuscan Bob title. What's going on there?
Oh, just simplifying it a little bit. He'll be back, don't worry. It's still got the avatar.
I can't wait for John China's first video. I really can't.
Oh, I know, man.
Yeah,
I'll make you an intro.
I got to pick which one I want to do.
What are you going to review? What's he going to review? That's the question.
I don't know. We'll see.
Orville season 3.
What you should do is
John China, Orville season 3.
Do a movie. What's one of the more recent movies that you haven't seen, Greg? Or John China?
Yeah, I'll do John China reviews.
Yeah,
Idiocracy.
No, do a John China review on a John Cena movie. That'd be great.
That means I'd have to watch a John Cena movie. Are you?
Yeah, you would.
Fucking nuts. I like Howie Long's a better actor.
Oh, that's funny. You should do it though. But everyone,
come on, his character in Broken Arrow was awesome.
Yeah,
John Cena in Broken Arrow.
No, Howie Long. Howie Long was in Broken
sorry.
Arrow.
Yeah.
Lyndon would know who Howie Long is, former Raiders player. So,
yep.
And of course, last but not least, today we have a special guest who's a guest that's always welcome here. But today he is our special guest, Lethal Lightning. How are you, my friend?
I just want to say Batman eats pussy.
Excuse me, guys. And that's canon now. Let's actually get into that. It's a nice little segue. But how are you, Lethal?
I'm well, thank you. I'm pretty well. Been putting a lot of effort and time this past month into gaming with geeks, and it's really taken off. We're getting close to 10,000 subscribers, so it's still happening. So yeah. Thank you everybody for all the support over there.
You've been playing a lot of games recently.
Yeah,
I've noticed a lot.
It's good. It's good.
That's awesome. All right. I'm just going to bring this up on the screen while we quickly say hello to the chat. We've got Riff Magos here with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Riff. He says, here's a small contribution to Rhino's The Narrative's Fucked Fund. Thank you. Thank you, Riff. I appreciate you. One of my loyal Patreons. Again, thank you very much. We've got Trey Courtney in the house. We've got Lyndon in the house. I don't think Lyndon's too happy with me at the moment because I've been shitting all over Loki and he's sort of been in it. So, yeah. Melissa Lord's in the house. Thank you, Melissa.
Oh, Lyndon's having his own dramas with the Loki show at the moment.
Why?
Oh, I don't know, the fucking nearly 1,000 dislikes or whatever he's got.
On his video. Yeah.
And then he does the second video saying, fuck you, I'm right, and gets ratioed on that.
That's my fault.
That was funny. What, the ratio?
Yeah, on the second one, because I'm like, hey, Lyndon, now they care about myth, so. And he's like, yeah, good point. Poor Lyndon.
Well, it's funny, we always talk about how important lore and continuity and being loyal to these characters actually are. And, then we see something like this that's on the screen. We got Metalong in the house. The stream, sorry about that. I had to push it back. It was all my fault. I was running late and, well, not running late. I slept in too much. That's the truth. Tim, congratulations.
It's on Rhino time.
Yeah, it was. There's a few others that we've got here. Everyone, again, I appreciate you all for being here. Miss Martin Muses is in the house. I think I'm all caught up. All right, let's get into this. So, of course, this dropped today, correct? Zack Snyder put this tweet out there.
Yeah.
Well, look, as a guy who's not much of a DC kind of guy, I'm going to take a step back in this and actually hand the reins over to Lethal because I know he's a big DC guy, so go for it.
This whole drama all started about 3 days ago to do with the Harley Quinn show, which isn't a very good show. I thought season 1 was funny, but season 2 ran off a fucking cliff. And in season 3, they wanted to, which hasn't come out yet, they wanted to have a scene in which Batman goes down on Catwoman because this is an adult show. Not necessarily in the sexual way, but there's plenty of sex jokes and shit. And DC Comics were like, nah, you can't have Batman going down on Catwoman. And they were like, why the fuck not? Like, what's he supposed to do? Not go down on her? And then their whole thing was, we merchandise these characters. We can't sell Batman if he's going down on Catwoman. And they were like, that's fucking bullshit. Of course you can. But because they're DC Comics, they ultimately have the last say. They had to scrap the scene in which Batman goes down on Catwoman. And then all of a sudden, everyone across the internet united saying, this is bullshit. Just let Batman fucking munch down some pussy from time to time, man. He must be very stressed out with all the drama that's going on around him constantly. And it kind of started this whole thing. Batman goes down. Batman eats pussy. So it's pretty ironic considering about 2 years ago, we had Batman Damned come out, which got pulled off the shelves because in it you see Batman's dick. I actually have that issue. If you wanted to see Batman's dick,
I don't think we can show that.
But I
don't really want to see it.
It's not that impressive. But it's so bullshit. Like what? Batman's not allowed to fucking eat pussy, and then today Zach puts this out saying canon. But it's been pretty funny because I've been thinking over these past 3-4 days, imagine what someone like Axel Braun's been thinking. These past 3-4 days being like, Batman doesn't eat pussy. What the fuck are you talking about? But I mean, it's just so bullshit. Like, I'm pretty sure we don't have to actually see Batman plowing Catwoman to know that, Batman plows Catwoman. They were fucking engaged for a while. We see them in bed with each other pretty often. Imply that they just did the deed.
Yeah, right. The typical Hollywood, next morning scene where they're just laying in bed because they got to the bed and then cut to the morning. That's
Dark Knight Rises. As much as I make fun of that movie, has a scene where Bruce is on the ground naked with a bedsheet over him with Talia al Ghul, implying that they fucked that night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
this isn't really a big deal. This isn't really a big deal. It's just the fact that DC Comics said, no, we can't have him do this because then we can't sell him. And everyone's just listing all these examples where we go, Batman fucking smashes, dude. He's, as much as I hate the man, he's the motherfucking goddamn Batman. He plows vagina like there's no tomorrow.
I think they're going the wrong direction here, and I'm going to be like, sorry, Tim. Go ahead.
No, go. You're going to make.
I'm going to have the unpopular opinion that Batman does not go down, and they missed a huge merchandising opportunity here because what is Batman known for, right? Toys, right? All the gadgets and everything like that. So he wouldn't need to go down. He would have a device that would take care of things for him, and you could have sold a whole bunch of Batman sex toys.
But I was just going to say,
rises when he sees Batman, when he sees Catwoman.
Right. I mean, you just miss an opportunity to make you could license Batman on fucking sex toys, and you missed the opportunity.
Now, I think the implication works better than actually the showing of it. I think, okay, in this scene here, so let's say they get right down and dirty and they get right into it, right?
Oh, sorry. Before you go on, Rhino, I'm going to do a full Rhino here. Just to cut you off.
Go. That's all right.
The Killing Joke animated movie, which is not very good, shows Batman fucking Batgirl on the roof of Gotham.
Huh.
Go on.
Okay. All I was going to say is how long would it take Batman to, take his outfit off just to be able to fuck her?
I guess it depends which outfit he's got on. If he's got his full armored shit, then yeah, maybe a bit of time. But if he's wearing what he's wearing here, man, he could have his pants off quick smart, bada bing, bada boom, in and out.
Well, if it were Tony Stark, it would have some kind of ching, 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 and then it just opens up around the waist.
It'd be nano.
Around his balls area.
But here's the thing, Batman he's been described at various points throughout the years as a sub-genius, as an actual genius. So my question is, does that mean he's like the best pussy eater in the world?
Of course he is. He's fucking
Does he know
Batman.
the hook and release method?
Hey, dude.
Does he know the hook and release method? That's my question.
He's eating the pussy of a pussy. Like, how good is that?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Batman's had how many girlfriends has this dude had over the years?
Yeah.
Batman eats pussy, plain and fucking simple. I don't think the show was gonna show it full hentai styles. I said in my video that
very tasteful.
My guess was they were just going to have Catwoman sitting down, looking very, very pleased, and then you see Batman's ears going up and down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they were actually going to show something like this fully animated, full on tongue action and shit. It's just fucking ridiculous. If DC Comics just said, no, can we do something else, please? It wouldn't have been a big deal. But it's because they said, oh, we can't market him. His superheroes don't do that. Motherfucker. You've shown him doing it yourselves.
I just don't. I don't know. To me, I thought comics this is entertainment for everyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's the show.
It's not at all. What's it rated?
No. RMA.
Okay. Is this from the show?
It's for the Harley Quinn shows. They wanted to have a scene in season 3 that showed Batman going down on Catwoman.
Mm.
And then DC Comics said, no, you can't do that.
Interesting.
So is the narrative basically that they weren't allowed to show this on the TV show because a woman being pleasured is too much for TV and it's sexism? That's not the narrative? Okay.
No, the narrative was we can't market Batman if he's seen doing this.
Okay, so the narrative isn't fuck, the narrative is pussy eating.
Fucking retarded.
Make a shirt of that.
Fucking retarded. We showed Batman slamming Batgirl on the roofs of Gotham City, but we can't show a little joke of him going down on Catwoman.
The narrative is oral.
Yeah. If it was up to me, if I was the guys making that shitty Harley Quinn show, the first thing I would do was make sure season 3 is actually good. But I would say, okay, we can't have Batman going down on Catwoman. How about we have Catwoman sucking him off then?
Yeah.
You can't
69.
have
Just do a 69. It would
Fair
look
is
good in the
fair.
heart.
You can't have that. Daniel James for $15. He goes, wow, my previous comment was unable to be super chatted. Dark and sexist, but it was the manly. Let me go back up and see what his previous. So really, he wanted to pay for this comment to be read out. Batman is too manly to go down on a woman. A real man can saddle. A real man can saddle him. Okay.
Satiate.
Yeah, I'll show you what he's
Satiate.
talking about.
What?
Satiate.
What's
As
that
in
mean?
Please.
See, I didn't
Daniel
know.
sent this
He's
to
saying
me.
that she would squirt all over his face.
Right.
This is what Daniel sent to me a while back. This is pretty fucking funny.
What you got for us?
This is Daniel is explaining to me the difference between an
I
alpha
saw
and a
this.
beta. So an alpha has sex with men to assert his dominance as a straight alpha male, whereas a beta male has sex with women because he's too weak to handle a man.
Oh,
Yeah, and by the way, arms akimbo versus arms crossed like that, that's also a distinction between the alpha and beta. So anytime I go somewhere, I go like this.
One day.
mhm.
It looks cool, and it makes you look like a real man.
Hey, I've never seen that word before.
What, satiate?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway,
It's not. It's not a word that people use a lot of.
no. It's kind of like
Satiate me.
the word girt.
Yeah.
Nobody uses
Satiate
the
me,
word
baby.
girt. We only use the word girt in our national anthem.
I thought you said girth.
No, girt. Come out with your hands on the head, over your head. We have you girt. Could you imagine the cops saying that?
I don't know what that means.
All right. Before we get into the next thing that I wanted to talk about, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Jock Nerdy and Alora, OG Star Wars. They bought a few things out of the narrative is fucked. And there's Jock Nerdy with his t-shirt. He's got a couple of mugs there, like my mug. Beautiful, mate. And he also got
He's got a
pillow
ninja,
like
too.
I did. Look at that. Hey, it's been hiding that whole time.
He's got a. I want to know his reaction to when someone comes over and sees that.
Yeah, so do I. And there was also Alora who got her coffee mug for her coffee streams, her coffee chat
lovely.
streams. So she's got her narrative is fucked mug. Jock Nerdy also got a water
Yeah,
bottle.
she was showcasing it on her coffee chat stream.
Yes,
this morning.
she's amazing.
Nice.
I love Alora. She's awesome. Jock Nerdy bought the entire store. And then that's my picture. I got a couple. I got another T-shirt, which is in the wash now, but I got the mug there and the pillow there. It's awesome. So get your narrative is fucked merch today, ladies and gentlemen. What were you going to say, Lethal?
Let's say Jock Nerdy. He truly believes that the narrative is indeed fucked. And
Yeah.
he's showing his
Yeah, that's
support.
the believer
He's
right there.
showing it.
Mhm.
It's like I said in this tweet here. It won't change anything, but it will make you feel better.
Mhm.
Like it won't do a damn thing. Oh, and just for Alora, I actually added the leggings.
Ooh, nice.
Now, this is the
Did you
thing.
listen to my suggestion?
What was
Nope.
your suggestion?
Your
See, I didn't
clown
know
head
how-
on the ass.
Yeah, no, it didn't work. I tried to do that, but it really didn't work. Now, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. I did. I don't know
Hey,
if that's
zoom
like,
in. Zoom in a bit on the front view. Dude, the model they used for this has a camel toe.
I knew that's where you were going to
Of
go.
course, Lethal goes straight to that. Of course he does. That's from the back. So it's got all the words in there. But I didn't know if that was kind of like the right way to go about like putting it on there. I couldn't really figure out how else to do it unless I make it like really small and just put it like in that top corner or something. But then that's stupid. Like it's just then a pair of leggings with a little fucking thing on it. So I don't know. Alora, if you watch this and you see this, let me know if that's how you'd like, because I can change that to how you would
Order
sort
it,
of
take
prefer
pictures,
it.
and send them to us because we need to make sure that the design works, ma'am. So thank you.
But yes, get your narrative is fucked merch.
Do those come in
today.
different colors, by the way?
Yeah, they do.
Nice.
They do. They come in.
You thinking about getting a pair of leggings, Tim?
No, I was just going to make a recommendation. That's all.
Because please don't post a picture.
All right, I've just dropped the link in the chat. If you want to go and take a look, you might find something that you like. All right, the other thing that I wanted to talk about before we actually get into the main topics that we've got, so the Bad Batch and Loki, is I saw one of Ryan's videos today, and I haven't actually got anything to bring up, but I think if anybody watches Ryan's videos, you'll know what I'm talking about, and I'm sure there's other people that have done it. Anthony Mackie is being
he's trending.
Attacked by the mob for being a homophobe. Now, Greg, I know you've got something to say in regards to all of this. Basically, just to, if anybody hasn't heard, there were the shippers out there who wanted to ship Bucky and Sam together. And he pretty much just came out and said, no, they're not gay. I don't think he said it in those sort of words. I think he went about it a bit differently. And again, Tim, if you can find it, or Greg, if you know where it is, please bring it up. But
I'm almost afraid I'll find a bunch of slash fic if I type that in. But let's see here.
Go for it, Greg. What do you sort of...
Well, first thing is gatekeeping needs to become a thing, and the first thing you need to gatekeep in any community before anything else is always shippers. Get them out, mistreat them, make them run away, make them delete their Twitter accounts, cry in their little fucking narratives, fuck pillows, whatever. Get them the fuck out of their community, because nothing good comes from shippers in a fan community. So that's first and foremost. Second, if you're a Hollywood actor and a reporter and you're sitting down for an interview, a reporter asks you about a ship of your character being gay with another character, and you are a straight actor, there are two valid responses. Walk out of the interview or punch the interviewer. Because here's what they're asking you to do. So if you say, yes, my character is gay, then you're fired. Because you're straight and you can't play a gay character. And if you say no, then you're a homophobe. So immediately that person who's interviewing you is setting you up to get fired or canceled, one or the other. There's no other winning answer. So as soon as they say, like, is your character gay, punch the interviewer or just walk out. Because it's a flat out, straight up attack on your livelihood. And it should be treated as such. Because this idea is like, if he says yes, if the character's gay, then Anthony Mackie can't play him, and what's his name can't play Winter Soldier anymore, because if they're not gay, they're not allowed to play the characters. You had this article come out with Amazon, right? Their rules, if you want to make movies and shit for Amazon, your actor has to be the gender identity of the character they're playing.
Shit. Yeah, I saw that. That's a huge story, actually.
It's stated specifically. If the character is gay, the actor has to be gay. Now, I highly doubt it works in reverse. Like, if the character's straight, like, I don't think they're going to say a gay person can't play them, because then they're going to run afoul of some discrimination laws, right? Because you're just then discriminating against a protected status. See, being straight is not a protected status. Being gay is. I mean, it's how the law works. So, yeah, like, literally, you can, if you answer this question, you will lose. You cannot possibly win by answering this question.
Right.
And you see some people out there.
And the worst part is, even if you don't answer it and you go silent, well, silence is violence then. So you can't win.
Yeah.
No matter way. No, like, if you answer it or don't answer it, you've lost. Like, and when I say don't answer it, you can not answer it in two ways. You can beat around the bush in regards to giving your answer, and you're not really answering the question, or you just stay completely silent on it. But both of those he'll get attacked for.
Yeah. The idea, and I saw this on Twitter, is people like, oh, you could go the Mark Hamill like cheese answer route, I guess, where you say like, well, if you think the character's gay, then he's gay. Because he said that regarding
cop out
Luke Skywalker, which is just a non-answer, and they're not gonna accept that answer anyway in the shipping community. So again, you're not really winning. You can say like, well, like you just say no, my character's not, but then why not?
Here's the thing on this Amazon deal, and I'd love to talk about this next Saturday night on Fall of Night with us.
Oh, absolutely.
Here's the thing.
There's a lot of details in there.
Part of acting has always been that it's a performance, right? So it's a challenge for someone. Think of, and I don't like this movie or this individual, but think of Sean Penn playing Harvey Milk, the gay mayor of San Francisco, the most famous mayor. That was a challenge for him as an actor, right? As an actor. So now it's just you bring in someone who is probably subpar, that isn't the best choice as an actor with skills that, think of all the great roles over the last 100 years in film, over the last 50 years. That's gone now because they're going to bring in someone that, we've narrowed down, the pool of people that we can hire from for a certain role instead of challenging someone. Hey, you're going to play another race. You're going to play another sex. People have actually done that before, and it wasn't about. Think of Michael J. Fox playing his own daughter and stuff like that.
Right.
It was interesting to watch and stuff. That's gone now. So it's I am Sam wasn't a stretch.
I just saw that too.
We used to make that joke at the time, Mara.
I hate Sean Penn.
But that's what sucks about this. That's part of acting. It's like I'm going into a role and trying to be a character. It's gone now. Thanks a lot, Amazon. Fuck you. You're making the problem worse, not better.
Well, and if you read the whole article and his whole interview, what he's basically saying is something that is absolutely true. Like, look, just because there's two dudes that are friends in a movie doesn't mean they're romantically involved.
Correct.
Just the same as like just two girlfriends in a sitcom or a movie aren't necessarily in a lesbian relationship because they get along and have a personal relationship. And I think this idea that men can't have like close, intimate friendships without being quote unquote intimate is just silly. That's like most men have at least a few other dudes in their lives that they, trust implicitly, would call to help them, if you needed help burying a body or whatever. Like they're the ones that you're going to call because you just trust them, and they're going to have your back. They're loyal to you.
Yeah.
You can confide them in things that you can't confide in necessarily your spouse or girlfriend, because you're looking for a dude perspective. And the same thing with females. Females have female friends for that very reason too, because like you can't tell your wife or your spouse or your girlfriend or boyfriend everything. Some things you need to bounce off of people that are going to have the same perspective as you, and not necessarily the same perspective, but have the same kind of experience as you, and may offer a different perspective from that same gender. Yes, that's Anna's like, look at Forrest and Bubba, like, they're gay because they're friends, right? And they get along.
And believe it or not, I've been saying that for 15 years, ever since I saw my favorite non-science fiction movie, Master and Commander: The Far Side of the World. The books are even worse. Like that relationship between Steven and Captain Jack. It's, shippers, they've written /fic. No, they're just very, very close friends. And even back then in the late 1700s or early 1800s, men would have relationships like that where they're very close friends. But now there's like a stigma against it because of shit like this that is on the screen.
Yeah, and it comes down to shippers because it ruins mixed friendships as well. Like you can't possibly have like a close, reliable like friendship without it having some sexual undertones or something that they won't do.
In this day and age, you can be in a bromance, or you can have a really close mate.
You can't.
But you can't.
No, you can't. If you're on film, you do shit.
You're allowed, but not only that, you're allowed to kiss and you're allowed to have sex and stuff with your best mate, and it's not gay. You know, that is anyway. It's fucking retarded. Narrative's fucked.
Well, you know, it's infected fandom for a lot. You go to Star Trek. You know, Kirk and Spock have a ship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Nine Inch
do.
Nails video.
Yeah, they do. It's called the Enterprise.
What's that?
Yeah, they do have a ship. It's called the Enterprise.
That's
no, he's being serious. Look at
clever.
his face. He's not. That wasn't a joke. Yeah.
Yeah, they do have a ship. It's called the Enterprise. Very, very good point. But yeah, they're Anna Mulder and Scully. Like, that would be romantic. You know,
yeah. Odo and Kira on Deep Space Nine. They ruined it when they did that. The will they won't they thing is gone. Then you've pretty much jumped the shark on any particular show.
Yeah, and that is why like all the other things aside, remember this always: shippers are nasty, evil people who do not belong in your fandom. As soon as you smell them, kick them out, get rid of them, block them. Don't care what anybody else says. Get rid of them. Get them out of there. They are a pestilence.
Is there the quote of how he answered the question in this little article you've got up, Tim?
Wait, ask that again.
Is the quote like to Anthony Mackie's response to the question in that what you've got on the screen?
Yeah.
While you're looking for that, just give me 1 sec. I'm just going to hit these super chats. Melissa Lord for $2 says some dollars for the Rage Fund. Love you, Rhino. Oh, he's referring to myself.
Thank you.
Rhino, Tim, Greg, and Lethal. Thank you, Melissa.
Everyone loves me.
Great supporter. And of course, Jock Nerdy as well. He got for $10. He's sorry I'm late. Here's some. Here's my fine.
Motherfucker, you've butchered everything you've read this stream.
Oh man, I'm not with it today. But thank you. We talked about you, Jock Nerdy, earlier in the stream. So go back and have a look if you want. We talked about you pretty much buying out the merch store. And everybody out there who sent us.
This is disturbing where I have the picture. Let me lower it.
This is for you.
They came bounding over.
Fuck off, Disney! You fucking cunts!
I love that one.
I finally got it in there. All right. What was his? Is the question there as well?
Okay, let me just read it because this is the Vanity Fair one. This is supposed to be the original article, I think. Anthony Mackie, Bucky Barnes and Sam Wilson's relationship is not romantic. In the grand tradition declaring Saturdays for the boys and bromance is sacred, Anthony Mackie has some thoughts about his on-screen chemistry with Sebastian Stan. In a new interview with Variety published on Thursday, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier star dispelled any indication that a romance could be brewing between his character, Sam Wilson, and Stan's Bucky Barnes. And here's the quote: "So many things are twisted and convoluted. There are so many things that people latch onto with their own devices to make themselves relevant and rational," Mackie told the outlet. "The idea of two guys being friends and loving each other in 2021 is a problem because of the exploitation of homosexuality." Do you want to talk about that before I go on?
Well, I mean, the exploitation of all of these things, the exploitation of the, races, the exploitation, and I mean, let's specifically just keep it to this though.
Yeah.
In regards to shipping and the LGBTQ stuff, but like we kind of mentioned it earlier, no matter how the responsibility of the sexist comment or the however you want to put it forward is actually from the person asking the question. That's the person that's actually got the problem, right? Because Anthony Mackie in his answer is actually right. Mm-hmm. When you actually look at the character, there have been gay characters in the MCU, right? Like
Alpha Flight.
If these people up there want to have their representation, they want to see themselves on the screen. We're going to see ourselves. We got to see ourselves. If they want to, if that's what they want, well then fucking okay, adapt a gay character into the story somehow that's already been established to be essentially a gay character. It's man, sorry, Stig. It's funny that you say that. I lost about 10 or 15 subs, like boom, real quick. fucking pissed me off too, because I swear it wasn't people unsubbing, maybe one or two, but anyway, check to make sure everyone.
I should probably unsub.
Don't talk about Loki if you're worried.
Anyway, does anybody else have anything to comment on that?
Anthony Mackie has been playing around with the woke game on and off for quite a long time. So I feel it was inevitably going to come back and bite him, and today's the day it happened.
Yeah, I mean, that in and of itself is a little bit rewarding, but like, I find it hard.
Don't get me wrong. I don't want this to happen to anyone. I never want this to happen to anyone, but I just feel this was inevitable.
Yeah.
I think so too. Playing with fire.
Yep.
Well, and the thing is like people on Twitter are like, oh, he said these things during Pride Month of all times. It's like, what was he supposed to do? Be like, oh, I'm sorry, man. To be fair, it's June, so I'll answer this question in a couple weeks. All right, because I don't because it's Pride Month. I don't want to answer right now. It's so stupid.
Fucking stupid. Lady Tariel for $2 says, love the rage and the toxic panel. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's the second time we've been called toxic tonight. So
yeah, it's
well.
awesome.
All I can think about is Ryan Johnson sucking my nuts.
There you go.
Greatest.
I love the avatar I have in that clip. That's perfect.
Play it again.
Let me play it again. Hold on. Because I can't even remember now.
All I can think about is Ryan Johnson sucking my nuts.
I like that works.
That does work. And Cell Shade for $5. Is that Canadian bucks?
Yeah, it is.
I'm testing and figuring out. I won't butcher this. I'm testing and figuring out how the super chat works for the first time. I want you to be my first Rhino. Take my money. Thank you, Cell Shade. And he is the designer of the Narrative is Fucked merch. He will be getting his own T-shirt at no expense of his own for obviously creating it. It's absolutely amazing. Thank you.
All the artwork he does is amazing. Did you see what he did of Nerdrotic?
I know. I can't say I did.
Oh, it was fucking brilliant.
No.
Soul Assassin, don't. No shipping. Any shipping is bad.
All right. Continue, Tim, please.
Okay. He went on to suggest that the sanctity of male friendships had somehow been tarnished by fans hoping for a Bucky and Sam relationship. It used to be guys can be friends. We can hang out, and it was cool. You would always meet your friends at the bar. You know, you can't do that anymore because something as pure and beautiful as homosexuality has been exploited by people who are trying to rationalize themselves. I love how he's like so politically correct.
Yeah, he's trying to parse his word carefully here.
Yeah, he's trying to toe the line a bit, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations, Daniel. It's pure and beautiful, my friend.
Yeah. Congratulations, Daniel. Before you go any further, Lethal, you're sharing something. Did you want me to?
Yeah, it's a bit of a callback to our previous conversation. So I put this out on Twitter. Batman absolutely eats pussy, but does he eat booty? So far, 25 votes, and 68% of people say yes, and 32% of people say no. I feel this is the real conversation that needs to be had.
You should have saved that for the full Aussie. Make sure that poll goes all the way to the full Aussie.
Oh, no, it lasts 24 hours. We'll have the results to discuss by the time the full Aussie's out.
Lethal, have you seen Selena's ass?
Yeah, I'm not going to answer.
He does it. He eats, yeah.
Well, just remember, Batman's the guy that, like, what another dude considers to be impossible. Batman's the guy who's like, no, I think I can make myself do that.
That's a good poll. Go and vote on that poll, everyone, please, on Lethal's channel. Go put the link in the chat or something, Lethal.
Yeah, okay, so just to clarify, this is the link to vote on if you think Batman does or does not eat ass.
Booty. Nice. I like it.
At least he has a mask on so he doesn't get pink eye.
Rim jobs for fucking days.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, if it's Catwoman's, it's going to be pretty clean anyway because she takes care of it.
Yeah. But yeah, he.
Please go on.
I don't know. I think this is stupid. You can't go to the bar because people will think that. Is anyone refraining from going to the bar, to the pub, if you will, with your mates, if you will, again, because you think someone will think you're gay?
Oh, I have that problem.
Funny you mentioned that. My friend's sister, all right? My friend's younger sister, she's about 2 years younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
She recently became a DJ at what is probably the only lesbian club in my state. And me and my friend, and he's the brother, right? We've been meaning to go see that place, hopefully within the next week or two. So I've never been to a lesbian bar before, but I'll be able to tell you what it's like, hopefully in about 2 weeks.
Nice.
I went to a gay bar with my girlfriend once. I didn't know it was a gay bar until she goes, "We're going to a gay bar." I'm like, "What are you fucking..." All right.
You want to fight, bitch?
We have Cowman in the chat. Thank you for being here, Cowman. $5. I'd rather hear toxic people than to hear false positivity. Trust me, I think we're all in that same boat. I think we all would rather just everybody be honest and true, but yeah, the sources tell us otherwise.
Is indeed fact.
It certainly is. Well, pretty much with this, you don't have to keep going over this article anymore because I don't think there's really too much more to it. But
hold on. There's one more part.
Okay.
More quote from him. Bucky and Sam have a relationship where they learn how to accept, appreciate, and love each other. You'd call it a bromance, but it's literally just two guys who have each other's backs. So, yeah,
they're on each other's backs.
He's being a little too politically correct, not incorrect for me, but he's exactly correct. He's exactly correct. There's nothing gay about what they're doing. I'm sorry.
Well, no, and
I can think of gayer movies. Sorry, Greg.
Yeah, well, I mean, the problem is that the shipping community wants to turn all these relationships into gays, and it's like, well, my representation. Well, okay, let's go demographics, right?
Mm-hmm.
What percent of the population are gay males versus straight males?
Mm.
So, like, you want to take every it's not even close. Like, they're not even pushing double digits.
Yeah, it's like the percentages need to add up.
Not even double digits.
Well, yeah. But what this is, it's almost like reparations. They have to overcompensate for decades of not getting representation. And good night, Mara. You know what I mean?
Good night, Mara.
It's not just homosexual stuff. It's all the identity politics. We have to overrepresent to make up for decades of supposed slights and exclusions. Because I mean, think about the 80s. Like, good grief, the Cosby Show, one of the greatest shows of all time. Who didn't watch Cosby? In the 80s when you're with your family and stuff. And it was like great, respectful show. It wasn't like a modern day minstrel show or anything like that.
Well, does that mean that anyone that watched the Cosby Show and enjoyed it now needs to be cancelled? Like, you're not allowed to get a job anywhere. You can't work. You're not allowed to do anything.
Right, because they participated on the show, and it turns out that, in his later years, he turned out to be a real shithead.
Yeah. How stupid. Well, that's the premise of cancel culture, though. Mm-hmm. It's like, what did the person do back in the day when it was okay to do that? Like, and I look at today and go, well, what makes it not okay today to do that? Right?
But a lot of that's very prominent with comedians.
No, but you know what's really funny?
Oh, yeah, because they're,
well, that's true. But I can say exactly the same thing that Anthony Mackie said in this, and nobody sort of bats an eyelid. I might have one person go, "Oh, you're a fucking homophobe. You're a fucking this. You're a fucking that." Right? It's like on the video that I did for the Pride Month, the Lego Build Pride Month and the Star Wars Toys Pride Month bullshit, right? I had two say that I'm homophobic and all of this kind of shit, right?
Right.
It's
Because
it,
if you oppose
but-
any part of the agenda or mock it in
Yes.
any way, that means
But
you're
if
the
I-
equivalent to somebody who wants to beat them up.
yeah, exactly.
And not allow them to even just live their lives, because that's
Yeah.
the moral equivalent of not abiding by their entire agenda wholeheartedly. So if you deviate from the norm even just a little bit, you're a homophobe. I mean, look at J.K. Rowling, right?
But give me 100,000 subscribers, or let's say 1 million subscribers, and I'll get cancelled for saying that.
Well, yeah. I mean, just because you have more reach, therefore you're more likely to draw the attention. I don't think that's inherently like.
Well,
I mean, that seems logical.
Look at this.
Think how many times they've tried to get PewDiePie.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. Dragging Anthony Mackie. Why did he have to say 4 paragraphs instead of saying it's cute and keep moving? That's the kind of weirdo you're dealing with here, folks.
Because you're just going to keep getting asked
people.
the same question over and over and over again until you get the answer that they want.
That's the type of people that Star Wars fans allowed in and just completely destroyed it. So I've said it before, I'll say this again. Lord of the Rings fans, look at how badly Star Wars fans fucked up and don't mimic that. Learn from this fuck up that is Star Wars fandom.
Just look into that Amazon issue and tell me Lord of the Rings is going to come out all right.
Just don't watch it,
because that thing is their new policy. Is not going to lead us into great quality programming.
Well,
but going back to my point about the demographics, the issue though is like demographically, what you're doing is the overwhelming, super massive majority of men are straight. Right? Not that there's anything wrong with being gay, okay, and toxic by their nature of being straight. What is better for society at large is to show that men can have close personal relationships with other men that they can confide in, trust, and be friends with, without it being gay. And I think that's the ultimate thing, is like part of the nefarious part of it is to kind of break that, give men no quarter, no place to go. Not to be like sound too MGTOW or anything like that, because I'm not really MGTOW, but like the idea is, dude, if you have anybody you can confide in, trust, or look up to as a dude, like, you're gay, bro.
But I mean, look, the first year of DC Rebirth was so fucking good. There was a mini series on Apollo and Midnighter, and one thing about Apollo and Midnighter is they're a gay couple, and that mini series was fucking amazing. Like, did it have moments of them being gay? Well, yeah, because they're boyfriend and boyfriend. But Midnighter is like a super violent character that fucking beats the living piss out of people, like beyond the level of something Batman would. And Apollo is like a kind of like a Superman type character, to keep it simple. And, that was as gay could be, but it still managed to not be woke. Pretty interesting, isn't it?
Well, right. And I'm certainly not saying like you can't have gay characters in pop culture. That to me, it doesn't really generally matter. When I see like Marvel shit, I'm not thinking who they're fucking. In fact, like every romantic storyline in the MCU to me is, other than maybe Pepper and Tony, is just absolutely fucking cringe barf. Like the Hulk and what's her name, Black Widow, cringe. It was just awkward and badly done.
What about Peggy
Vision and Wanda, like making breakfast or whatever? That seems awful.
Peggy and Cap.
Peggy and Cap. Well, I guess like that's such a small, tiny bit.
Wanda was super protective of her vibrator.
Yeah, she really was.
My nerdy home, Steph, for $5 says, Rhino, say something sexist. Women are gay.
Really? That's the best you can come up with as far as.
What have you got then?
It was off the cuff.
Oh, I don't want to get John canceled. I'm wearing his avatar here. So.
Where's my sandwich?
Yeah, where's my sandwich?
Get in the kitchen, make me some food, bitch. Hey, Kathy, I just want to ask Kathy.
Okay, I'll say something. The real travesty about the wage gap is that it's not big enough.
I don't know. I feel like when I go down to the market to purchase a woman, the stock's just been really shit quality lately.
Mikey Gassler for $2 says #restore the Snyderverse. How do you feel about that, Lethal?
Can we have Batman eating out Catwoman?
Yep.
Snyder said you could.
Steph was happy with my response.
I think she was happy with our responses.
I think it was more my response.
No, yours was stupid.
Yeah, yours was dumb.
Fuck all your.
But to continue on with what Lethal was saying about the comic, Midnighter, and are those Watchmen characters, by the way? Did they bring them into the DC?
No, they've been around they're part of the what were they called? The Authority.
Okay. So point is, like, that's not really anything new because Star Trek kind of skirted around the issue by doing stuff like, oh, there's this species that everyone is asexual, but then if you actually choose to be a sex, then there's this dilemma. And Orville kind of did some weird stuff that Greg and I are watching now. But in 1995, in season 2 of Babylon 5, they had 2 women that were. It didn't like outright show it. Well, it kind of did, but it wasn't. It was incidental. It wasn't part of the story. It's just these 2 women, and they weren't gay. They were just kind of bisexual, and they were in a relationship. It was made quite clear, but it was just because it was part of the story. If you can do that in 1995, why can't you do that now? Just have a story. Think of The Shield. It was a cop show. They had homosexual characters, and they kind of made it part of the storyline, but it wasn't woke. It was just part of the story and incidental, and maybe one of those characters dealing with it, but it wasn't like, hey, here it is, and it's in your face, and you better like this, and if you don't, then you're racist, homophobic, and sexist piece of shit.
Well, an example I would give is Supergirl, right? So, like, you can't like just have gay characters just be gay and just show them living normal lives, which I think would probably be like more productive for the cause than anything else. Is just portray them as normal people living their normal lives. But you had an entire season in Supergirl, right, where her sister was gay. Like every fucking story in that entire goddamn season, it felt like was like the sister. Yeah, was the sister is gay episode, and it was all about the fact that she was gay, and it wasn't just like, okay, she's gay, and then you just show her, and here's her girlfriend, and everything. It was like super hyper focused on that every single fucking episode, and it was just like, what the hell is this? Like,
well, Lethal, what percentage of female characters on Batwoman are gay?
400.
Yeah, right.
It's probably 90% upward of that. And that's just based on the one episode that he forced me to watch a few months ago. So it's like, wait, who isn't? That's not really representative of like a sample size of society, right? But I guess in that multiverse, in that universe, in the multiverse, maybe like 90% of women are lesbians. So
it probably has a pretty small population in that multiverse, then I guess.
Yeah.
But because that
the snap, if that's in the Marvel side, when you snap, 90% of the universe's population becomes gay.
In time,
yeah, there you go. You could have a snap that does that.
Video idea.
Interesting. I'm going to do a snap where every fucking sexy Betty on planet Earth just wants me and no one else.
Yeah, not even the Infinity Stones could do that.
Yeah, that would require the unreality stone.
Especially if you have a drawer full of Infinity Stones, right?
To quote Rhino, to put it in perspective for you, reality is often disappointing.
Yeah. Speaking of reality, I just wanted to give a quick plug to my Marvel Encyclopedia videos that I've been doing, or video that I've done. Yeah, I will be doing more. As you can see, I've got a few pages tagged in here. The first video I just did on the timekeepers because I thought it was relevant to obviously what's happening with Loki. And this week I will be doing Loki, which is an entire page, not just one little section of the page. It's that entire page there.
And they use pronouns too, so
yeah,
I think it's his and him.
Yeah, I think it's cucked and Lady Loki's better. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, get ready for that this week. But the reason why I thought I'd start doing that is because this book was published, revised, and everything before woke became a massive thing, right? So there's nothing really in here that's going to skew off from the actual source material for the identity politics, I think, within this book. So I'm just giving my I'm not even giving my thoughts on it. Sorry, I'm just reading out what the information is. Lethal thinks that I should give some takes in regards to what I think about it, but I don't know. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Greg and I think that too, for the record.
Yeah, everybody does.
Yeah, and can I quick say that is a testament to the value of owning physical. Because you take something like a wiki or a website or something that's operated by the company that owns the material, right? They can edit and change the entire course of their history. And if you didn't know ahead of time, you would have never known that they changed anything.
Oh,
so
Tim,
if you're really into buy the physical books, the technical manuals, that kind of stuff. If you want a definitive source that they can't just stealth edit and change as they bastardize the canon in their modern shit.
Mm-hmm. Tim, you've heard about the Wikipedia drama surrounding the Yuzhan Vong?
No.
Oh, the Twitter account thing and everything.
It's like it's to do with the Yuzhan Vong, mostly to do with their ships. People keep changing what the size of this ship is.
Mm-hmm.
And because I don't know the full context, but I don't know. All it took was like one moderator that got salty because he got a little fact, like a ship size, wrong. And they kind of kept changing it back whenever someone would go in there and edit it, go, no, the ship's actually this big. So it's just this back and forth. So you go on Wikipedia to look at the size and you'll see contradicting information.
They're a shit show. They had the whole thing with transphobia going on about 2 months ago because someone didn't want to, one of the moderators, whatever the hell they're called, they didn't want to allow some kind of pronoun type thing or whatever. And the other crew backed them up. And then the woke mob came after Wokepedia is what I call it now. And then, and then they fired the guy, fired him, whatever. They don't get paid, but they kicked him off the site and took away his editing capability. So site sucks really bad. Like doing my videos, I find out how much it sucks. They have wrong references. You got to dig deep to find out what they have right and wrong. So don't take what's in any of those articles on Wikipedia for face value. That's all I can say. But I need to look into that ship thing. Thanks for telling me.
Yeah, Yuzhan Vong specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now didn't that admin then hijack the official Twitter account and they had to make a new one because he locked him out of
like
it?
that. Yeah,
because I saw that post on Twitter. Like, this is our new Twitter account because we can't access the old one because this guy basically hijacked it. Like, ha.
Oh, by the way, Holocron Keeper Evan is creating a new wiki for Star Wars. He showed us last night on Matt Wilkins' stream. So.
Okay.
Well, that's quite an undertaking.
Yeah, that's what I told him.
Well, yeah, have fun with that, man.
See in about 17 years.
That just shows you anything on these sites can be.
Yeah, and Ryan said that admin deleted all the pride posts. That's awesome.
Yes.
Not because I'm anti-gay, but I'm just anti-pride. So.
And boy, they were just having little fainting attacks over that too. He deleted the pride post. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of law, I'm curious to know how Kathleen Kennedy honestly really feels about law.
Oh, here we fuck.
I made that.
Damn, I want to.
They don't well, she clearly doesn't care if Filoni does. None of them do. They just want to put on.
None of them give a fuck, man.
Yeah, they don't.
Jock Nerdy for 20. Go on.
I was just saying that's been apparent for years now. Go ahead.
Jock Nerdy for $20. Just took the dogs out. It's almost 8:30 p.m. here in Sacramento. It's miserably hot. Good thing I got Rhino's bottle to drink black tea and bourbon out of. Set up your Streamlabs and I'll drop a real bomb on you. I'll fucking do that next week for sure. Now that you said that. Thank you, Jock Nerdy. You're awesome. He's dude, honestly,
based, isn't he?
Is awesome.
But I mean,
Ryan's in the house too.
Off before John China. We've known since like 2008 that Filoni never gave a flying fuck.
Right. Yeah.
Took me a little bit longer than that to realize.
Yeah, the writing's been on the wall, and like, you know, I'll grant a certain amount of leeway to like the original creator to kind of backtrack on canon and maybe retcon some stuff if it doesn't work. But they're just Disney Lucasfilm is just lazy. Filoni is lazy. He just steals shit from prior works and, you know, bastardizes it to fit in with whatever story he wants to plug it into. Like he's not creating new lore as far as new characters, new species. It's just all except for Ahsoka. It's just super lazy.
And she has to be in everything. So
well, and that again, more evidence of laziness. So we're just going to keep pulling in these characters into everything. So
I never saw the last season of that show, but you will never convince me that she and Darth Maul were alive during episode 3.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Why the fuck weren't they referenced throughout that whole movie? Oh, Anakin, I hope fucking
she didn't exist.
For the 50th fucking time.
Why didn't Anakin reference that half of his 501st weren't even with him on Coruscant that whole time?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Narrative fucked.
No, I heard it's so fucked. It's fucked.
We were actually talking about that last night on Matt Wilkins' channel, how it strains credulity to the point where you just can't believe it, that all that she existed and was not even mentioned once, you know?
I'll go one up on that.
All those events.
Not just existed, but had such a major role in everything.
I find it so hard to believe that TCW happened in that time frame, that all that happened in like, what, 3 years?
It's impossible.
I find that fucking hard to believe in itself.
Mm-hmm. Oh, shit.
Keep talking. Keep talking. Everyone just shuts up when fucking bring.
Because we're all like gagging because we have Bad Snatch on the screen.
G'day, Dr. Coffin.
Bad Snatch.
Stuff, human. How you doing?
I haven't watched a single episode of this.
You and 99.99% of the entire world has not watched.
Man, I'm telling you now that the hype around this show, just there's nothing there.
Doesn't even exist. This is by all, like, they'll never release the actual stats, but I mean, this thing is a flop. This is High Republic level flop.
I mean, like, fucking, to me, it's just another TCW.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to watch it.
Oh my God. I can't even begin to tell you how much this show is so the same as The Mandalorian. And I say it every week, but it's the Mandabachian. This is honestly every episode there's a cameo appearance. You've got the oh my God, it's Rex. Oh my God, it's the Mortez sisters. Oh my God,
Rex considered a cameo?
Because they're lazy. They're lazy.
But then,
Filoni is lazy.
But then, not only do you get the cameos, but the storylines and the plots are so the same. It's like, oh, our ship is broken. We need to land somewhere. Oh, if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Oh, that person fucked us over. Oh, it's the exact same
show?
Yeah, they can never go somewhere and just buy the part for their ship or just pay with credits or anything. Like, here's my credit card, fix my ship. It's always got to be, the plot line from episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
Is this show pre or post Order 66?
After. So the first episode of this season, you see Order 66 from the point of view of Kanan Jarrus. So the guy that they made in Rebels. Freddie Prinze Jr.'s character.
Yeah.
And he sounded like it. He sounded like a 40-year-old man in a 10-year-old's body in the show. But this is what I'm saying too. Like, even those episodes had your cameo appearances from other Filoni works, right? And it's all gonna culminate in, like, you've got Crosshair, who the chips fucked him over, and he's hunting them because they're fucked. They're going to end up wanting to try and find this Jedi that they let go, the Padawan, and Crosshair is going to end up getting involved. Like, and Omega has got this bounty on her that nobody really knows why she's so important. She just is, and she honestly knows everything. I'm not even joking.
If everyone always goes on about, TCW kind of sucks, but the clones were always kind of cool.
That's
fair enough, but I mean, they all got fucking chips in their head, so everything is just like redundant to them. I mean, I hate the idea. I've always hated the idea of them having chips in their fucking head.
Yeah.
So basically, they're just robots. They act like robots. Then they got to do what the fucking thing tells them, like, as opposed to just being super duper loyal, like they're explained in the second movie. So they're just super hardcore loyal. Yeah. And then they just follow orders no matter what. Because it was like Order 66, wipe out all the Jedi. What was it? Order 65 was turn on the fucking Chancellor because he's out of control.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, it's just, they're just fucking robots. Like, you flick a switch and they go schizo. Stupid. Fucking stupid, man. And then it just takes away all the cool stories where you had, like, the clones being like, I know I'm supposed to turn on the Jedi, but I really can't do it. This guy saved my life how many fucking times? I mean, like, the whole like mini little tiny story behind them killing Ayla Secura was when they talk about it in OG Battlefront 2. They're like, we couldn't look her in the eye when we were shooting her. She's done too much for us. That's why we had to shoot her in the back and shoot her like 1,000 fucking times just to make sure she didn't feel a single drop of pain.
Yeah, on Felucia.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All that shit's just gone out the window because now they got fucking chips in their heads, and I just realized that's a bow and arrow.
Yeah, so
she
got her weapon to complete her figurine in the previous episode, and now they're teaching her how to use it. Funnily enough, the target that they've set up is right next to the doorway, the entrance to the bar. So somebody walks in and she literally just misses the person that's just walked into the bar to come and spend money, and she's shooting arrows at them. It's so stupid. See, there's the target, and just over here's the doorway. There's the
sorry, Rhino. If this show's post Order 66, what are they fighting?
Well, see, what they're doing is basically they know that because they saw the clones that were affected by the chips, inhibitor chips, kill, I can't remember who it was now. Is it Ayla Secura? I can't remember. Who was fucking Freddie Prinze Jr.'s fucking Caleb Doom's master?
I have
anyway.
No clue.
They see the clones kill her, and they know that there's something wrong with the side that they were originally allied with because the chips aren't working in their heads.
So the chip didn't work on a single one of these characters that are
no,
all
it
in the
did.
same squad.
It did. It did work on Wreck. Sorry, not Wrecker. It worked on Crosshair. And his chip has been enhanced now, so he's fully like, kill all the Jedi.
It's Order 66 on
steroids. Full Order 66 on steroids, yeah, because they boosted the chip, which is fucking stupid as well. Yes, that's right, Ryan, actually. We'll get into that because that's in the next episode. What was I saying? And Wrecker, actually, in the next episode after this one, ends up going through this thing where the chip actually does take over, and he starts fighting Rex and Hunter and all of them, and then they stun him and they remove his chip before it fully takes over. Anyway, that's in the next episode. So just going through this episode, it's so stupid. Basically, she's practicing. She's like, I hit the target. And he's like, 3 out of 20. That's luck. That's not skill. They're still working for this chick, Sid. There's time jumps between these episodes that really take away from it because I'll actually explain at the end of this episode. So they've got to basically get this droid head from a factory that's destroying all these old droids and stuff like this. He's like, I don't know whether or not we want to work for you yet. This bit. She basically picks up the bow and arrow and goes, the reason why you can't shoot properly is because of these flimsy arms that you've got. And then she goes, boom, 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 get your strength up and you'll be able to do this, no problem. Lesson over. And that's the end of the scene. And then later on in the episode, Omega's just there. Bing, 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 bing. No problem because her flimsy arms just got bulky all of a sudden. It's just, storytelling. Dave Filoni, you fucking hack.
You almost said something else then.
Yeah, I did. So basically, they've got to go off and get this droid head from the factory. They start sneaking around. The other thing that I find quite surprising is that they really don't care that they're wearing their armor. Now, I know that they're sneaking around.
I know you said it's Order 66, but is this, has the end of Revenge of the Sith happened yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
so there's like Darth Vader cruising around.
Well and truly. We haven't seen him yet. But yeah,
well, I guess he's the big cameo they're saving for the end then.
Yeah. Now, this is the other thing too, right? They're working for this chick, Sid. Sid's telling them, like, I'm going to look after you. You make money, I make money. Why is Omega going with them on these deadly missions? Why isn't Omega staying with Sid and then just practicing her target practice or fucking whatever? Why is she going on these missions? Because she's also important. You're sharing your screen, Lethal. Do you want me to? Yes.
Just an update. We're at 116 votes for Does Batman Eat Booty? And 65.5% are saying yes.
Okay. Nice.
So it looks like Batman is a bit of a booty.
I'm still debating, so I haven't voted yet.
He hasn't voted yet. He hasn't decided where to go.
I'm really, I'm making the chart, pros and cons. Really putting a lot into it.
So she ends up locating the droid head. This is Omega, of course, because she's just the bestest at everything. And then Trace and Rafa show up and they steal the droid head, if I can get to a shot of them. So if you don't know who Trace and Rafa are the two girls that Ahsoka goes to, befriend.
It's the SJW hair.
Oh,
yeah. These are the SJW twins. These are the ones that got. These are the ones that got race swapped and gender swapped from that Asian, love interest that was supposed to be for Ahsoka.
Can you go back to the weapon?
I only know them as SJW hair.
What is the point of having a laser string on a bow?
Because it looks cool.
Like, what does that do exactly?
I don't know how this fucking thing works because this whole bolt.
Because does it work on like similar technology as like lightsabers or something? Like that whole weapon design just doesn't even fit.
You're asking too many questions, Greg.
Yeah, I know it looks cool, but like, yeah, that doesn't even fit the technology or the universe like at all. But okay, it looks cool.
So they basically start getting surrounded by all the security droids. They've got the Trace and Rafa are the ones with the head. And throughout this entire thing, it is literally basically just filler of them trying to get out of this factory with the head. And, Trace, or one of them, makes a point to Hunter that you're basically getting this information. You don't even know who you're selling it to. And he goes, basically, we're mercenaries. We've been sent to get it. We don't care. We're just getting paid. And, basically she's teaching him a lesson. So by the end of the episode, I'm not even going to go through it all that much, but by the end of the episode, Hunter gives them, the two girls, the information and doesn't take it back. So he's getting no money at the other end. Basically, it's just a botched mission, a pointless episode just so that we can have them show up. And then at the very end, they're like, they end up talking to this guy, which a lot of people think it's Bail Organa. And then in the next episode, when Rex shows up, he says to them that Trace and Rafa told me where to find you guys. Like, the storytelling in this, again, the universe is so small.
Why does Bale care about them? Like, what's so special about these characters?
Because they're in other shows.
Because they're in other shows, and they know Ahsoka. They're friends.
Bale has Disney Plus, and so he knows.
They're friends with Ahsoka, and that's where the episode ends, right?
I want to go back to the bow because I'm hung up on the bow.
Look at Ryan's comment. He's exactly right. It's just like Ezra's slingshot.
Have any of you shot a bow? Like a real bow, not like a toy one. So like a real bow. No? Yes. Rhino?
Yeah.
So if you have a real bow and you're a mean person who likes to hurt their friends, what you do is you give them like a real hunting bow with some serious draw where you really got to pull hard to draw back. Give it to somebody who's never shot a bow before, and don't give them any advice. What you will probably have happen is they will hold the bow incorrectly with their wrist in their left hand if they're a right-handed person, and they will very likely, if they've never shot a bow before, they are going to hold it and they are going to skin their forearm with the bowstring the first time they shoot it. Because what happens is if you don't have your wrist correctly, your forearm gets in the way, and when that string comes through, boom, it skins the shit out of your forearm. Imagine that with a laser.
Hey, I thought the droids were all...
No, so basically they've programmed the head of the droid to activate all the droids in the factory that are basically being demolished to kill all the security droids. So they end up helping them to escape. But
get wrecked.
I mean, I guess so much for needing a big, gigantic donut ship to control the droids, I guess.
Okay, so I have to show you this bit, and I'm actually just going to, because I need to add sound. But at the very beginning of the episode, Omega, like, her arms were too flimsy to be able to pull that bow back and aim properly and all of this kind of thing.
Yep, guaranteed, right? If she never shot a bow before, she would have zapped her forearm.
Dude. Listen,
it hurts like a motherfucker, by the way, if you've ever done that. Oh,
listen to this.
It's all about tuning out distractions.
What?
It's all about tuning out distractions, because that was the lesson that.
Oh wow!
That.
How is that thing more practical than just a pistol?
Man, you were really hung up on that bow, dude.
What's so? I am. It's stupid.
It's what do you call it? It's Boba Brat.
Yeah, and really, this fucking dumb bitch.
So here's what they're doing.
So much.
This is their way of saying, see, she does have weaknesses, because at the beginning of the episode, she couldn't use it right, but she can now at the end of the episode. So she evolved.
Right, in 20 minutes, she becomes a crack shot.
She's been able to conquer. Yeah, that's right. She's now a professional. Mm-hmm. Honestly, this show is like, even my mate who's a normie when it comes to Star Wars, he's been watching this. And he goes, dude, this isn't Star Wars. This isn't what I got into when you introduced Star Wars to me 2 years ago. You know,
this bow is going to be my tracking fobs.
That's true. That's
true. A bow, what propels an arrow forward, right? The fact that the string is being released and it flings the arrow forward because of the tension on the string. Why is that necessary with the laser thing?
Do you know how Chewbacca's bowcaster works?
No.
You know how it has those two balls?
Yeah.
So, well, they're
you know, somebody please
and the big shaft.
Somebody please clip that. You know, it's got two balls.
And he's holding his hands like cupping them.
like cupping
they're just like
balls.
fucking elephant balls.
Big fucking balls.
So they're reverse polarity between each other, and they create this field, and that's what flings the projectile forward. That makes sense, right? That makes a little bit more science fiction.
I can buy that.
And plus, not only that, but it's in the lore that no one but like a species strong enough to cock it and handle it can use a bowcaster. Yet, what do they do in The Force Awakens?
Yeah, Han just casually uses it like it's no
Oh,
big
I
deal.
like this thing. You know, that was the dumbest scene ever.
Which is
And a
really
dumb
weird.
movie.
Like all that time they spent together, he's never like once tried
never
to shoot
fired
his
it.
bowcaster.
Mhm.
And didn't he fire it in the OT?
No.
No.
He never
No.
used it in the OT?
No. Okay. He sure didn't.
Sorry, guys. I'll be right back. Talk about the bow.
Okay. Yeah, you're a hunter, Greg. So you're an authority on this. You're a voice of authority on it.
I haven't hunted in many, many years, but I have shot guns and I have shot bows, and I was not very good at shooting a bow, and it takes a lot. But the idea is like, all right, if the string, if it's easy to draw, then there's not much tension on it. Therefore, it's not going to produce much forward projectile motion. But what is the whole point if it's just how is this better than just a pistol?
If you had to give me like a writing challenge, like justify this weapon, here's the only thing I could come up with. The only thing, and I'm not saying it's good. There's an alien species, right, that was primitive until about 100 years before the Battle of Yavin, let's say. And they got discovered by the Republic, and they're using bows and arrows, okay? So they basically were brought into current technology, and instead of just giving them blasters, they're like, well, we want to develop something that we're used to. So instead of just having a gun like a blaster, we came up with this bow that shoots lasers because that's what we're used to having. That's all I can come up with. Other than that, this thing is not practical at all, and it makes absolutely zero sense, and it looks stupid on top of that.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, they think it looks cool. It's got the it's glowy and it's pink and all that stuff. But what a completely impractical weapon, especially for somebody as small as her.
Just like that dumbass, like Ryan said, that slingshot that Ezra had on Rebels.
Yeah,
that was worse, arguably.
Like, look at her; she's like shaking, like she had to work so hard to pull that thing back. Well, okay, but then in the episode, that clip you showed, she's like firing that thing like left and right.
Bing, 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 bing. No problem.
Okay, like that. If she's struggling to hold it for just that short amount of time, like her arms are going to be mush after just a few. It's a completely impractical weapon.
Well, let me say, just in regards to your question about how, why isn't a pistol better? Well, first of all, a pistol is better, but she found this weapon. She found this weapon on their last mission. So now,
Right, so she finds a fucking pistol.
Yeah. Anyway.
A pink one.
Like I said, it's
Whatever.
so that they can complete the figurine, like the toy.
Yeah,
because she's now got a comm.
There won't
link.
be a toy. Trust
She's
me.
got a comm. No, man, they'll make this into a toy. Don't worry. They've got she's got a comm link, which she got at the beginning of the episode when she found this weapon, and now she's got the weapon and she's using the weapon. There was actually a moment in this episode where she's about to fall into the fire where they disintegrate the droids. This bit here, she's on top and she's trying to pull her up. And there's like that. And I was just like, fucking just let it go. Let it go. Please, God, just let her go. But essentially, that's episode 6. Again, very boring episode. But this is where they're really sort of stuffed up, right?
I'm picturing her doing like a Hans Gruber fall right now.
I'm reading Blue Eyed Scorpio's latest comment. Oh man, dude, he has the best singers out there.
Hey, he's fucking awesome, Blue Eyed Scorpio.
Yeah,
he put this picture on Instagram the other day where it's a like a leveler.
Uh-huh.
He puts it on the ground and he stands on it, and his caption is "No one's on my level."
So this is essentially the episode. They're trying to get the droid head. They succeed, but then they basically give their bounty up. Now,
I just want to
this
say
is.
fuck you, Rhino, for subjecting me to this.
I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, ditto that.
So they basically say goodbye. They fly away, and then it cuts to this thing. They basically talk, and that's the end of the episode, right?
Go back to that hologram.
The very next episode. Yeah.
Trying to see who it is.
Well,
He said it was Bale.
Listen to what. No, I think it's Bale.
They leave it as a
Hang on.
teaser.
Yeah, they do. I just don't want to.
Yeah, I think Ryan's right. I don't know anyone on any side of this whole debate
I think
watching this show.
What did Ryan say? Rhino is the only one watching the show.
Yeah, I am. You're probably right, Ryan. You really are.
You need to partner up with Star Wars Theory. You could do a Bad Batch charity stream where you give money to the people who write the show because
he
they're
can
going to be
cry.
broke.
He can sit there.
You're
going to
get the show a
and
second
I'll
season.
Sit there and go, dude, fucking shut up. So listen to what she has to say here.
She. Yeah.
Hey, baby, let's go scissor the fuck out of each other.
You can hear that, right? There's sound coming, yeah?
Yeah,
I heard.
Patch him through R7.
Patch him through R7. Pronouns, pal.
We acquired the tactical droid data from Corellia.
I hate the way they pronounce that in this Disney Star Wars. It's not how it's pronounced.
And it's yeah, but
it's Corellia. Corellia, not Rel.
I just love too how, again, all the planets, all the names, jangle the keys. Mm-hmm. Remember this, remember that.
Well, you know what planet they were on in this episode, right? They were on Ord Mantell.
Yeah. And we had help.
It was a squad of rogue clones, and I know where to find them.
I just want to pause for a sec. Blah, 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 blah.
Thought you might.
Yeah, that doesn't help in a defense, but okay.
So that's pretty much it. So that's the end of that episode. Now, going straight into, again, we're going to go straight into it because I want to show you something.
Okay.
All right.
One second.
Well, we're waiting.
We're waiting with bated breath.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Tim's face speaks for all of us.
Shut up.
His face says, fucking kill me. If you were my friend, you'd fucking shoot me.
I was about to, but my screen moved. All right.
Guys.
So this is the very next episode. I don't even remember the beginning of this. They're on their way back now to Sid from another mission. Okay. So think about this for a second. They've all off screen between episodes. Mm-hmm. They gave that thing to the Mortez fucking Scissor Sisters. Sorry. And they flew off. And that was the last we saw them. They didn't even jump into hyperspace, nothing, right? They flew off. And then we cut to here, and they've had a conversation with Sid saying how they weren't able to get the droid head, blah, 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 blah. And this is the next mission, or it could be the next mission, or it could be the next mission. There's a massive, I don't know if it's massive, but there's a time jump in here. And so basically they're going back. And it just, if you're going to complete an arc. Get them to go back, tell Sid that they weren't able to get it, and let's see what the consequences of it are. Now, they reference it in this episode, right? She goes, well, what would have fixed that was getting that head from blah, 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 blah. And they're like, sorry, it's just a throwaway line so they can reference the previous episode. It's really, really bad. Now, throughout this episode concentrates a lot on Wrecker because he keeps throughout this entire series he keeps smashing his head into stuff, and
on purpose,
either on purpose or even when he ran towards Fennec Shan, she just basically grabs him, throws him into the wall, smashes his head against the wall, and knocks him out like in one move.
These clones are fucking idiots, aren't they?
Whether or not it's by accident or like somebody smashing his head into a wall,
an ongoing joke kind of thing.
Yeah, but what's actually happening is it's making his inhibitor chip activate and not activate, and activate and not activate.
That's so stupid,
right? So it's kind of like it's starting to. And
that's an excellent design for a chip that's supposed to control people. Is that it's subject to like rattling?
Yeah.
So like, oh my god! Like, so I'm picturing like this clone hospital, and the doctor's like, "Well, clone 71582, you have a concussion, so we're gonna have to put you down." Clone's like, "What?" He's like, "Well, the chip could go bad because you got a bump on the head, so we're gonna put you."
What about during Operation Nightfall? If a Jedi just smacked the clone across the back of the head, the clone was like, "Ah, fuck! Sorry about that, man. My bad."
Well, I mean, it goes back to your whole thing about how stupid the chips were to begin with. Like an actual like physical chip that's placed in their head instead of it just be part of their conditioning. Like versus just like the brainwashing to have it be a physical chip. Yeah.
Well, and it also just made like Order 66 that much more emotional as well, because it was like they were given the order to do it and they chose to follow through with it. Because you had those clones that didn't. They just said, "No, I can't do that. That's fucked up."
Right.
Yeah, and like it rather than just say like, "Oh, these ones must have a defective one in their head," have it be like, "No, their personal experiences like cause them to overcome their conditioning," versus because like now it gives like anybody who overcame it is just like, are they really a good person, or is it just they were lucky and got a bad chip?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
It takes away it takes away the impact of them choosing to go against that conditioning, like which lessens the achievement.
Like Commander Cody, for example, like good mates with Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then he got the order. He was like, "Nah, fucking shoot that prick."
Yeah, he's a traitor.
Yeah. So does that mean if Cody had like a chip that didn't work properly, they would have just been like
or like on the previous mission, he bumped his head.
Just bumped his head.
Hey, really quick, Rhino. I'm looking at the Wikipedia entry for this episode, and 2 episodes back, there was a character that debuted, and Lethal and maybe Ryan, if he's still listening, the name of the character is Ketch. So in the X-Wing series, there was a fake Ewok pilot that they came up with, and that was the name of the fake Ewok pilot. It was kind of like a comic relief thing, but they still used it in one of their plots. So now they're literally lifting names. It's not an Ewok in this episode. It's like one of the fucking guards of Jabba, whatever species they are, Latwinian or whatever it is. Yeah, so they're using like more expanded universe names. And that was like a very popular comedy relief thing from X-Wing. So congratulations, Filoni fans. The appropriator.
So basically, just to get back to this episode, these guys all had a conversation about the amount of credits that they got for doing the last mission. They're getting a bit pissed off with Sid and not really trusting what's going on. But they are definitely like portrayed as like fish out of water in every instance. Like obviously they're trying to be babysitters and dads in space, but at the same time, like they don't know how to be just a normal civilian. Excuse me. So, the conversations that they're having, it does seem like Sid is ripping them off a little bit. But yeah, moving forward from here.
That's Sid there.
Yep. And of
course. Be careful, Rhino.
Yeah, no, I know. Rex shows up. And this is where, like, I kind of laughed to myself. I was a bit like, oh my God. Another fucking cameo. You can't keep this show going based on the strength of what the show is called, The Bad Batch, right? So the entire premise of this episode is Rex teaching the Bad Batch guys why it's so important that they remove their inhibitor chips and that they are all a risk to Omega and to everyone around them. Now the funny thing is
what Omega is.
No, nobody does. But the funny thing is that Omega even says in this episode, I don't have an inhibitor chip. And Wrecker goes, oh, that's unfair. Why not? And it's just brushed off because like there's not even an answer to his question. So she is the only clone ever to be created without an inhibitor chip. She's important. There's a bounty out on this chick, and these figures.
There was an episode a few back that we did on your show, and I read the Wikipedia entry for it, and they did the same thing. They have these cop-out answers. It was the Rancor episode where they did the gotcha moment where, hey, it's this character, it's Luby or whatever the fuck its name was. They're like, no, that's Luby. So that was like one of those gotcha moments, and then they went back to the person that hired them and said, hey, you could have told us it was a Rancor. And she says something like, oh, yeah, I guess I forgot. So they don't even explain stuff in the show. They just kind of cop out.
Yeah,
and
it's
just
because
want you to turn your brain off.
It's because when you see the Rancor and then you see Bib Fortuna, it's like, remember!
Just like they did with Baby Yoda. Just like with Baby... Oh, it's a 50-year-old. We're looking for a 50-year-old.
Stupid.
Gotcha, it's a baby that's 50, And then they're screwed on the rest of the show because it doesn't fucking make sense.
Let's have a listen to this conversation.
Omega, this is Rex.
Let me just pause just for a second. Because, it's so funny. On my last Loki review, I got a copyright claim on it. And it was just because it was one longer clip, even though I was talking in between. And then all I did was pretty much put a cut in there and just put the edit, like when you put in an edit and you can make it like flip the screen or put in one of those sort of things. And it completely changed it.
I've met many clones in my time, but never one like you.
Right. Sure.
I'm going to pause it there. So when she's just going in and looking at him like really intensely. It's making me start to think they're going to... It's honestly making me start to think they're going to make her force sensitive.
Well, that's what Ryan said in the chat.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. I truly think that is what they're going for in this moment here.
Has there been anything throughout the show that's made you think that as well?
Oh, she's done this a few times. When they first met Sid, they walk in and they go up to Sid and go, "We're looking for Sid." And how did they know about Sid? Because Echo told them that Sid's here, but Echo's never met Sid, so has no idea what Sid looks like. You know what I mean? So just heard about Sid, just for convenience. They go up to Sid and they say, we're looking for Sid. Are you Sid? And they're like, no, there's no Sid here. Go away. And that's pretty much like it goes on a little bit more, but that's pretty much it. Sid goes over. Omega literally walks over to Sid, looks up at Sid and goes, "You're Sid." Like, literally, that's the line. And then she gets on her communicator while they're standing 2 feet away from her and goes, "I found Sid." And they all look at her and she's just standing underneath Sid and like smiling.
Have they explained how she's a female?
No, it's just a defect.
Well, that's a pretty big fuck up. It came out the wrong gender.
Now, this is the thing that I look at. These cloners, right, are very proud of their work, right? That they make sure that everything talk about bad promotion. This is the template that we went off, and this is what came out. Sorry, you shouldn't come to us.
We gave you Django Fett, and you came out with this fucking little girl.
You shouldn't come to us if you want any cloning work done. Listen to what she says here.
For Generation 1.
How'd you know that?
From the lines on your face.
Yeah.
So she looks at him real intensely, and then she goes, "You're a Generation 1." And obviously, it's just, again, she just knows everything. She's great. We saw in the last episode how she can go from this struggling to pull the bow back to bang, 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 nonstop. Just got to block out the distractions. Anyway, so this is where he figures out that they've still got all their inhibitor chips in. And he starts freaking out and basically goes on this.
You're everyone around you, even her.
Anyway.
What is Rex doing in this time period? I don't know.
Okay, so he explains that he heard how to find them through the Mortez sisters.
The Scissor Sisters.
The Scissor Sisters. So Bale, if that is Bale, it might have been Rex. It might have actually been Rex who they would directly. But where's the connection? The only connection that they have to Rex, Bale, or any of that is through Ahsoka. But these Mortez sisters hate the Jedi because in the war, during the Clone Wars on Coruscant, the Jedi were fighting some bounty hunter or something, which I think was the scene where in Revenge of the Sith, where Obi-Wan and what's his name are changing, and Anakin are chasing the Changeling. You know that scene.
Mm-hmm.
So from that scene, the one that Boba Fett hired to kill Padme, or Jango Fett hired to kill.
That was
Padme.
an Attack of the Clones.
Sorry, Attack of the Clones. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I think
the Death Sticks.
Sorry.
The Death Sticks.
Yeah, so all that scene beforehand, the chase, right? Through the city and everything. Yeah. The Mortez sisters' parents died because the Jedi did something throughout that, or it was in the Clone Wars or something. I might have that wrong, exactly when the moment was. But there was a moment where the Jedi were fighting somebody on Coruscant. A ship ran into the building and ended up killing the Mortez sisters' parents.
Well,
so why would they help that side if they hate that side?
Yeah.
But, continuity doesn't matter, right? So Rex is worried about, obviously his headaches and things have been getting worse and worse and worse. And this is where that line comes, actually.
That's what we're doing.
He wants to cut open my head.
All of our heads, actually.
Not mine. I don't have an inhibitor chip.
Why not? That's not fair.
How's the chip scanner coming?
How's the chip scanner coming? There's your answer. I don't have an inhibitor chip. How about some fish and chips?
I'm beach Daz, bro. That's what Rex needs to say. I'm
beach Daz. I need a hose and a bucket. I need to get wet ASAP. All right.
Need to clean my dick.
So Rex goes, they ask Rex, how did you remove yours? And I had help. And then he goes, how do we remove ours? And he goes, I'll get back to you. So basically,
no fucking idea.
We'll figure it out by the next episode. That's what that means.
Anyway.
What is this place?
Shut up.
Starship graveyard. I'm picking up Rex's beak.
Anyway, so they meet up with Rex and they need a Jedi cruiser from the Clone Wars, this thing, to be able. They need a hospital bay from there to be able to remove it. So they meet up here, but there's obviously people mining the area and stuff like that own the planet or whatever. So they're trying to sneak around.
Is this where Rey lives? Because she's scavenging?
No. This is just an entire planet that's apparently
I'm not
a ship
surprised.
graveyard.
I mean, I am surprised, Lethal, because it's such a small universe.
Yeah, everyone knows everyone.
Yeah. So Wrecker comes across. He's ended up being hung upside down. The water creature comes and basically tries to eat him.
Oh, a Dianoga.
Like in the movie. Remember
Dianoga?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The doors start closing.
They finally get through to the med bay. Wrecker's going nuts. While he's
that seems to be every time you talk about this Wrecker guy, you're always saying he's skitzing out.
Well, he is in this moment, definitely. Like his chip is basically starting to fully take over, and he ends up going.
God, I wish there was some Jedi around that I could fucking murder.
Anyway, so he ends up here. This is where he full skits out. Anyway,
what a fight, bitch!
He actually goes nuts, and he nearly takes them all out. And they basically stun him.
So would he flip out at them because he would see them as traitors?
Traitors to the Republic, traitors to the Empire, basically, yes. Because they don't and in that moment too, when Wrecker, just before Wrecker's chip sort of fully takes over there, he hears Hunter saying to Rex that they let the Padawan Jedi get away. Now, in that moment, I actually thought that Wrecker was going to get away from here, get back to Crosshair, and explain to him what's going on, and say that yes, Hunter did save the Caleb Doom or Kanan Jarrus, depending on how you want to refer to him. But that's not what happens. So they end up stunning Wrecker. They put him in the. She shoots at him, and then she chases. Oh, that's right. In this bit, so she shoots at him.
All clones in violation of Order 66 shall be
Why is that frozen?
terminated.
So just misses him.
She's doing the Ripley pose.
Knocks him out.
Get away from her, you bitch!
So he starts running after her, and I'm like, dude, please. Just find her and snap her in half or something. Like, seriously. I was so looking forward to that. But just as he is about to shoot her or kill her.
Ricker, I'm your friend.
Bitch does, bro.
But Ricker, I'm your friend. Oh, she is so annoying. I remember when
bitch, if you're my friend, why the fuck did you just shoot at me?
Everyone was annoyed when Ahsoka made her first appearance, and she was very kiddie, and it was very annoying. To me, she evolved and ended up being sort of decent. But this just fucking takes it to the next level. It's so fucking cringe. And
soldiers follow orders.
But see, this is my point right here. You're not following an order. You just got a fucking switch in your head where someone flicks it, like turning a light bulb on and off.
Mm-hmm.
You're not following orders. So that
but the order's Order 66. So
but it's not really. It's someone just clicking a button.
And then he gets stunned.
Order 66 would be if he gave a fucking order.
One more fucking second, Rex, and Omega would be dead. And it'd be all okay.
Rex is a villain confirmed.
Yeah. So anyway, they knock him out. They get the chip out, and they're like, is it going to work? Is it going to work? And, Omega's like, I'm not leaving his side. So that all happens. And then Rex wakes up. It's all okay. And they remove all the other chips from all the other people. And
everyone just gets fucking brain surgery, and they're all cool.
Yeah. Wrecker's like, I'm sorry I tried to kill you, Omega. And she's like, it's okay. It wasn't you. It was so Star Wars. Wrecker's talking to somebody as Hunter walks out to talk to him. They have a bit of a conversation. Rex leaves. They get tracked by the people that own this planet and say there's some clones here.
Oh shit, it's Revan.
Yeah,
report.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, report them to the Empire.
It's the Revens, Tim. The Revens are here.
The Revens are here.
Remember Revan?
So that is now we're up to date with the Bad Batch.
Yay!
But
honestly,
why?
But why?
How many episodes left of this shit? Holy shit!
Well, there's one more dropping tonight, or like tomorrow morning, I think, for me. So my review will be out by.
There's a ton left.
Yeah. And I don't know how many's in the first
just died inside. He's like, fucking hell.
How many's in the first season?
16 it's showing. They don't have names for 8 and 9 according to Wikipedia, but episode 10 is Common Ground, 11 is Devil's Deal, 12th it'll be a Deveronian, I guarantee. Episode 12 is Rescue on Ryloth. So I guarantee like Bib Fortuna is back on that one. And then
Rescue on Ryloth. No, that's gonna be Hera. It's gonna be Hera Syndulla.
There you go. And then Infested, and then War Mantle, and then 15 and 16 don't have names on this fucking website. So
it's episode 16 will be called Darth Vader.
Yeah. Or 501st, or something like that.
Sorry, while I was doing that, I wasn't actually sort of watching the chat all that much. I hope I didn't miss any super chats. I don't think I did.
Let's see if they have anything on risk.
Let me know in the chat if I've missed anyone's super chat.
It'll be like, remember in Dragon Ball Z, where like the episode's called Frieza Defeated? You'll find out what happens next week.
Yeah. Same thing with like He-Man episodes and shit.
Can Goku take out Frieza before Planet Namek explodes? Find out next week on Frieza Defeated.
All right. I don't want to go for too much long because I'm really hungry, guys. I haven't eaten that much today and I'm starving.
Eat some pussy.
I'd
Batman.
love to. Batman. I do want to talk about Loki because obviously it is in the title and there's been 2 episodes, so it is pretty relevant at the moment in regards to some of the entertainment through geek culture and all that sort of thing. Just quickly, Jock Nerdy, you missed this one now. Laughing face emojis. Thanks, mate. For $10.
Well,
appreciate it.
Before we get on to Loki, I just want to ask if anybody from Disney is out there watching. So, how is this this focus on having this young girl character? Like, how's it working out for you getting the young female audience watching the show?
I don't care.
That was pretty good timing.
Yeah, how many of them are now watching because they feel represented and it's a character they can look up to and
I don't care.
Can you just play that next time instead of covering the Bad Batch episodes?
Yeah.
I don't care.
God, she has a face I just want to splooge all over.
They came bounding over.
Fuck off, Disney! You fucking cunt!
It'd be so.
She has a face that screams perfect birth control to me. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, man. I think she would look so beautiful with like my sperm dripping down her face,
with Bakai
chin, and then just falling off.
Indiana Jones and the.
Well, hey, if you can power through looking at that face, like you are a stronger man than I.
Indiana Jones and the Massive Load.
I watched.
Rhino's getting annoyed. I can tell.
I don't want to talk about Indiana Jones,
or Loads. Yeah.
I don't want to I just I'm still waiting for that day. I've got that hope, that all-inspiring hope that Kathleen Kennedy is actually out the door. But I keep seeing photos and other evidence and other things.
Nothing will change.
Yeah, I know. That's the whole argument.
Prove otherwise.
Why?
Yeah, exactly.
Virus.
All right, let's talk some Loki.
I mean, the proof otherwise is every other Disney property. There you go.
Yeah. Have you guys been watching Loki? Anyone on the panel?
No.
I'd rather die.
Right, okay. You are like the only person that watches these Disney shows here.
True.
I watch
Star Wars Theory.
All right, so let's talk some Loki. No.
Do you know what I did watch? And it was fucking dope.
Greg actually he fucked himself up. That's so funny. He's not even in the back room. He's completely gone.
You can't kick me, bitch. I'll leave.
Come back, Greg. Come back. What were you saying, Lethal?
Baby.
I watched Hathaway, and that was fucking amazing.
I haven't seen it.
Of course you haven't. You watched
Hathaway?
fucking Loki. Yeah, don't watch Loki. Watch Gundam. The new Gundam movie was off tap.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the best thing about the Loki show is Lyndon's videos.
Yeah, getting ratioed.
I just love the
You
fact that
can't fire me, I quit.
He got ratioed on the first one and then did a video saying, fuck you, I was right, and got ratioed on that.
Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm going to talk about Loki again, and don't ratio me this time.
At least he's getting the views.
Fucking awesome, man. His second video, fuck you, I was right. You know what's funny is I did a video over a year ago talking about when Call of Duty Warzone was going to come out, and I was just saying, look, all the evidence points to it coming out on this date, and the video got fucking ratioed. And do you know what? The game came out on that fucking date.
Nice.
Don't you love it when a good plan comes to fruition? Let's talk Loki. First episode of Loki. I'm not going to show any of this because I actually want to get into a bit more of episode 2. But so in episode 1, Greg's back. Hold on. Sorry. Welcome back. So the first episode of Loki for me really did it changed a few things, and even after I did that video on the timekeepers, they've changed stuff from the lore and the way that these characters were supposed to be shown. Now, I've actually read through the entire page that's here on Loki. There's never mention of anything like this is their own little story that they've created. This, to me, has never happened. They're not adapting any source material of this story. So, to me, like you guys have heard about what's been going on with these timekeepers and stuff, right? You've watched my review. I'm sure you've watched a couple of other people's reviews on it or live streams, right?
I know the general gist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So essentially, to me, what comes before, what comes in the future is all planned out. Well, we don't really know that now because, of course, the multiverse has now finally officially been opened by the looks of things. But to be honest with you, this show's been very boring. And I thought it could have been something much better than that. You know, when you see Loki disappear with the Tesseract, you're thinking, fuck, he's going to get up to some no good now, you know. But he really doesn't. And you know, that might change in a few episodes, especially after seeing what we see at the end of this episode, the last one that we had. But
we should get Lyndon on.
Yeah, Lyndon, you want to jump on? Send him the link, Lethal.
Brilliant idea.
So I just want to get straight into episode 2, actually, to be honest, because again, I don't want to be going for too much longer. Let me bring this up.
There you go, Lyndon. Come argue.
All right. The funny thing is, I found it funny that they needed to do a catch up previously on after one episode, and there's a few bits of dialogue that take place where
is
they're
that
not.
all?
Yeah, playing Morbius. There's a few moments in this show where you actually see the character talking, but they're not saying anything. Like they've dubbed over the conversation.
Like a Bruce Lee movie.
You don't see it that much because, of course, it's all from the back when you see that. But you can see the head moving and talking to the other character, but either there's no words or it looks completely different to what there's actually being said. So there are a few moments in this show like that.
So just really shitty, poorly executed ADR.
Yeah. So they give us the previously on. Of course, this character that we're supposed to think is Oh, who are we supposed to think it is? Who were we thinking it was in WandaVision?
I accidentally sent the link to Rhino.
Mephisto.
There you go, Lyndon. You got the link.
You sent the link to me?
Yeah, you're both the same person.
Wow.
Funny ass.
I sent it to Lyndon just then.
So we end up. I can't remember what time this was.
Oshkosh, 1985. Yeah, that's like 30 minutes down the road from me. Yay.
In 85. So
I could have been in that scene. I was alive then. Got family in Oshkosh.
This is what I wanted to bring up. Okay.
Didn't look like that, by the way.
I don't have an issue with female characters.
Yes, you do.
Exactly start
yes, you
do. You didn't start that strong.
You do.
I don't have a problem with female characters, right? But here we go.
Wrong.
Here we go. He's going to come in and argue this point. G'day, Lyndon. How you doing, my friend?
Hello.
Move you up a bit.
Okay.
Okay. So I don't have a problem, but one thing that I notice in this show, and the only reason why I actually bring this up is because it is so important to them, right? If it wasn't so prevalent to Disney that they have all this representation and all this kind of stuff, and this is where I bring in the whole thing about us being hyperbolic about woke things that we see in entertainment and stuff these days. The problem is that in a lot of this, like I actually commented on it on my review of this episode where I'm like, okay, everyone gather around for a briefing. Like, she doesn't sound intimidating whatsoever. It sounds really, it's like, come on. Like, surely you could have recut that again and the character could have come out and gone, like, I obviously don't expect a woman to come out and go, hey, come on, guys, let's gather around for a briefing. But, like,
I just saw Blake's comment.
It's got to be that one.
Here we go.
Did you see that meme, Rhino, of you in the nut house?
3 hours later.
Yeah.
It's woke. It's all white.
So now I said this is the other thing too. I see what they've done here, right? So when these guys show up, there's like 3 women and 1 man, right? Now, again, I don't have an issue with that, but it's the way that it's being portrayed that way, right?
You're so close to saying the line. There's a suspicious amount of women.
Well, there is. To be honest with you, there absolutely is. Right? Think about it for a second. The only main 2 male characters that we ever see in this show is Morbius and Morbius or Mobius?
Mobius.
Sorry. Mobius
is the vampire.
Yeah, that's right. That's who they were teasing that this Lady Loki was at the beginning. So they're the only 2. Him and Loki are the only 2 male characters that you really see. The head of the entire TVA.
But they're also the leads. I mean, to be fair, they're the lead too.
No, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. But you know, when you get a scene where the leader of the TVA is a woman, and in the very first episode you get, you know, it's really cool when you talk down to me like this. It kind of suits you. Like, I'm sorry, but that's just way too obvious. That's way too in your face for me. That's so fucking ridiculously stupid. That line shouldn't even be in there. I don't know. She gets taken over.
Maybe he's a submissive. You know, he likes.
She gets taken over. She gets taken over by Lady Loki and kicks everybody's ass, and then she steals that body, and that's where the episode essentially starts. Now, there is a little bit more of an explanation through this episode of how the timeline works and all of that sort of thing. I still don't like it because if the explanation that they're giving is what they're giving, then they should have gone after the Avengers for meddling in the timeline. And I don't.
They told you
they were supposed to do that. They were supposed to create the offshoots and then go back and put the offshoots
but they went back
into place
and put them together in Endgame.
So if they hadn't have done any of that, what would have happened?
But not
It
really
melted?
because
Then they would go back and reset it, so that would happen. So that would happen.
So changing their minds. So making sure that their free will is completely, because even Loki brings
so
that
basically
up.
Everything's all right because they're meant to do
Lyndon, Loki brings up the free will question in this
Exactly.
episode, and
So
Morbius doesn't answer it. He
That's what
answers it
everyone's
with
problem
yes.
was.
Well, basically, yes, you're right.
That's what everyone's issue was. Like, so if we don't have free will, like, what are we going to do about that? So the next week, they literally say, so what about free will? They're answering your question, like posing your questions.
Mobius says what?
I wouldn't think of it as, okay, so in the first episode, he said, I wouldn't think of it as approve and disapprove. You know, remember that bit? When he was saying, so what? They just, the timekeepers just approve of whatever goes on in the timeline. He goes, I wouldn't think of it approve and disapprove. It's more like, and then he doesn't say anything. They're trying to keep things ambiguous because it's not like a direct, straight timeline because they're trying to figure it all out.
I thought they're trying to keep it ambiguous because they don't even know, because they've actually screwed it up. I mean, again, if you watch my video that I did,
let's
go. I thought he was pretty much wrapping it up there. Anyway, if you watch my Timekeeper video, they go after the Avengers for meddling in the timeline and Scarlet Witch for meddling in the timeline. Because what she does, creating that Nexus thing in WandaVision, should have ended up having the TVA show up and go, no, sorry, Wanda, yeah, you're coming with us, melt you, reset the timeline.
Okay, maybe that means she was supposed to.
Yes, she was. Because think about this. Okay, think about this.
So if she didn't do it, they would have gone back and melted her.
Tim.
Okay, so they said in the beginning explanation, they're watching it like a river. So everything's passing through, and anything they see that could create a branch, they stop. So it's not about something good is happening or something bad is happening. It's about this is going to create a branch in time. We don't want that to happen. So it's not about a moral arbiter of what's right and wrong. So if you were supposed to do something, like say you hypothetically were supposed to kill someone from Disney.
Use the rat. Use the rat. Use the rat as the example. The rat that brings back what's his name? Ant-Man.
Yeah. So
what happens if the rat doesn't step on the machine to bring him back?
The rat gets melted.
They come back and reset it, so he does it.
And then he doesn't do it again.
But how do they know which one's the branch and which one's the regular flow?
Because they're watching the timeline go and it's staying straight. That's what you got to do. You got to keep the timeline straight. And if one branch is off, doesn't matter if it's good or bad compared to what your belief is. As if it's going to break the timeline, you got to stop it.
But what about when Doctor Strange is like, there's a million
why is one way straight and the other one a branch versus just flip-flop the two?
So, because if you listen to the first thing, they said there was a timeline war. So timelines are fighting for supremacy. So what a variant is, from my perspective, idea is, what a variant is something happening in the timeline that's trying to branch off and create its own superior timeline. Because they said it was a timeline war and it nearly destroyed everything. So that's what it's doing. The timelines are trying to create their own superior timelines to take over.
I still don't understand how that works with Doctor Strange saying, there's like a jillion different timelines and there's only one where we actually beat Thanos.
Because he's still working on the TVA, from what I think, is MCU timeline, or MCU, anything that happens is like in a material plane, like all here, down here. The TVA is in like a different level. So Doctor Strange is still operating in like a sub level to the TVA. Because
that might be that still kind of takes away from like the whole like
in regards,
it just doesn't make it as dire. Then it's like,
that's right. In regards to
there's only one timeline where we actually win. Every other timeline we get fucking wrecked.
Exactly. So that means that there's got to be one. Not that there can be a whole heap of different time things and a whole different, like, I can understand. Okay, so let's say they've got this ribbon of time, right? And this is the way that the flow of time is supposed to go. Now,
but according to who?
The timekeepers.
To the timekeepers, right? Now, let's say you've got this character and you've got Thor, right? And he makes this decision to fight Loki, right? That's still within the timeline. Let's say he makes the decision not to fight Loki. It's not going to create an offshoot necessarily. I can understand that they can still all result in the same sort of thing, right? But when you've got Doctor Strange saying there's only one where we win, and the one where they win was that they meddle in time, right? And that's the one that the timekeepers are saying, yes, that is the way that it's supposed to be. That means that if you change one tiny little element, right, from that one stream that Doctor Strange saw, they've got to go back and reset the timeline. It completely eliminating free will because
So
it's
Thanos
one
was
decision.
always gonna
It's
lose then.
one decision. If if Thor had have gone for the head in Infinity War and got him before he snaps his fingers and completely deletes half the fucking universe, which ends up getting reversed in 5 years anyway, right? The timekeepers come back and go, nah, sorry, you can't kill him. He's got to delete he's got to delete half the universe.
Yes, because
Well,
that would have.
see, and I want to know. I want to know like how detailed this gets. I mean, so we could go all the way. It's like, okay, Tony Stark fucks Pepper, and he's supposed to have a daughter, but a different sperm won the race. Is that a different timeline, or is that not a different timeline?
I think you got to think of a bit of leeway, maybe, because if you're having an event it's not a Nexus event, it's just an event that can actually because they're keeping the multiverse together in one timeline. No,
that's one of the timekeepers.
But if it's one, is it really multi? And who's to say like which the river's way is supposed to go? Is maybe it's supposed to branch off. It just seems to me as like they won the time war, and they're just dictating to everybody else what they're going to do. Thus,
that's exactly what it says. We're dictating the flow of time as according to the timekeeper's dictation.
Right. So no free will.
Imagine if they make her Kang the Conqueror.
Because what happens is like you have free will in the sense that you can make the choice. It's just you're not allowed to live with it.
No, if it's not a Nexus event, you have free will until what you do is so destructive to the timeline. It's going to create a new one.
Drinking a Coke when
but so many things you could define as a Nexus event, as like somebody being born or not being born. You know, the further along in the timeline you go, the more it deviates from where it otherwise would have been.
But if
it's the butterfly effect.
Yeah, but if it doesn't, then it's fine.
So they do explain that, and it's how Loki ends up finding where Lady Loki is hiding out, right? So
how good is this? I fucking love it.
I will say this scene does do what they're trying to explain a little bit more justice, but it still, to me, takes away from, because they have changed it. They've changed what they've set, like what the timekeepers are set to be. The Avengers meddled in time. So did Wanda in WandaVision. She meddled in time, right? Or meddled in time.
Why do they allow the time stone to exist? Why don't they pull all of them out?
So
that by definition meddles with. But they could go and grab them and take them out because that fucking thing is going to.
That's why they had a drawer full of Infinity Stones in their drawers.
Yeah, well, they had various ones, but obviously didn't have all of them because they're in the MCU, right? So why allow them at all?
They took because they create the flow of time in that universe because that's the whole elements, time, soul, space, like that's all.
So basically, nothing matters, and it's just all meant to be anyway.
If you watch it like I did last night, I went straight from Avengers 2012 and then watched Loki straight away, having nothing else. Watch it like that, and then it's like, oh yeah, he just got taken straight out of 2012 because he fucked up the timeline, and you have no knowledge of what went after. Because everyone's watching it like, oh, but I remember this happened in this 2014, 16, this happened in Ragnarok, this happened in Avengers. And you're like, yeah, but that's not supposed to. He's just been taken straight out of 2012. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? Because if he goes back, he's gone. He can't go back. He realizes that. So now he's got to actually help or work with these guys until they broke the timeline.
The timekeepers are from original comics, original lore. They were introduced in 1979. Okay, so this is where they go and test their theory. So Loki's figured out, right, how Lady Loki is hiding from the TVA. And what she is doing essentially is she's going back to a time period where an entire civilization gets wiped out, and she's just remaining in that time period. So to test that theory, these two go to Pompeii, and they go and start mucking up. Like Loki just starts dancing around. He runs off and just starts, going, "You're all going to die." He's just telling them that the volcano is going to erupt and, you're all about to die, and seeing if there's a Nexus event that actually starts to shoot off. And it's starting to erupt just here, and there's no Nexus activity because, of course, the entire civilization gets wiped out. So they've got nowhere to move forward to change the timeline. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? It does when he explains it. Anyway, so he's happy that he is right and everything. They basically then start studying to figure out, okay, which event is this version of Loki hiding out in? And again, the conversation...
Right here, this conversation, he's even questioning if the timekeepers are actually real. He's like, wait, what about... He's like, are you believe all this?
Mobius keeps giving off that he's met the timekeepers, but then we also find out in this episode that he's never met the timekeepers. Yep. Now, at the end of time, and you'll see this in the video that I made, the Marvel Encyclopedia, at the end of time, the one who remains ends up going back to basically restore their flawed agents, right? So I'm thinking that the one who remains is actually the chick that was talking to him in the office. I think she's actually a timekeeper, and she's the only one left of the three timekeepers. But that's just my theory.
That looks like Pedro Pascal in 20 years from now.
But the conversation that takes place, but this is the main one where you actually see Loki saying something when he's not actually saying anything. They changed the script.
Are you a jerk?
I don't know. It could just be like a different shot that they used, and they're like, we put the voiceover in because that's what we need. Him, Owen Wilson's thing, he's saying the right thing, but we need to just add that in. It's just edited.
Yeah, maybe.
Does he say wow?
Wow.
Wow. Oh wow. Timekeepers. Wow.
So this conversation goes for ages. This is where I will say it did get a little bit slow and boring for me. Like, I know that they're trying to explain the situation and what's going on, and they're trying to have these revelations, right? Throughout this conversation, at the end, Owen Wilson has a revelation to figure out how to find the Loki variant. So they go off to do that, and then figures out that they're going to use the gum that they found in the previous episode. Anyway, let's see, where do we go from here? He asked permission to basically go to the place that they found where they figured out that the Loki variant is. And she's like, didn't go so well last time, what makes you think it's going to go better? So they go to 2050 is where apparently there's a hurricane that hits. I don't exactly remember where it is. Do you remember, Lyndon?
Probably. They do say it comes up. It comes up.
Let me have a look.
It has the image. And this is where he was being smart. He's like, yeah, I'm the more superior. Yeah, it is. Even helps.
Yeah. So there's a hurricane that comes through and apparently wipes out all the people in this town of Alabama or whatever. And that's where the Lady Loki is hiding out. Now, it's interesting when we get to here. So Loki goes off with this chick and Mobius and the other guy. They all spread out going looking for the Loki variant. They end up finding somebody sort of walks over to her, don't they?
Yeah, there's a guy standing there, and then she walks up to him and he grabs her and changes.
Grabs her. That's right. Yeah. So here, and they every time they touch. The Loki variant transfers her consciousness over to that person. And then eventually it just comes through. They have a conversation about, Loki's trying to say I'm better. And, I don't really like what did you really take out of this conversation, Lyndon?
I do have to get going.
All right. Sorry, I did just see that. Thank you for coming by,
see you, man.
Sorry, I almost said Lyndon. Lethal, please let everyone know where they can find you. Plug your shit and
you will find me spouting from the top of a rooftop that Batman does eat pussy.
And covering Kathleen Kennedy's face.
Oh,
And
God.
jizzing on Kathy K's face. No, but I'm gonna be pushing over the next hopefully month or so, maybe a little bit longer, to get the watch time for my live channel. It's pretty close. It's less than 200 hours away, and then after that, it's just a matter of getting the subs. So that way, I would have that channel monetized as well, which would be really, really cool. But on that note, thank you so much for having me. Shout out to Tim for getting monetized. That's badass.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
That's badass. And yeah, I don't know. Fucking maybe me getting off the stream isn't what the timekeepers have in mind, and maybe we're all about to fucking die.
You'll get melted and you'll end up back on the stream. Like, you'll just appear.
Hey, if I get melted, don't we all get melted? Because I left the stream.
That's right.
It's what happened when I tried to fucking leave.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right, mate.
everyone.
Thank you for coming
Take
by,
care.
dude. Later.
Hooroo. Bye.
Later.
Oh, it just brings me back up. That's strange. And now it's not sharing my screen. Why does it do that? It should. There we go. I was going to play this for him.
All I can think about is Ryan Johnson sucking my nuts.
All right.
Stereo.
So yeah, they basically just have a bit of conversation. There's a bit of dialogue that takes place between them. And then that's right. She explained, she's trying to explain to them that she told Loki how to find the timekeepers. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So where to find the timekeepers, how to get to them. So she's like, this is the thing that I don't really understand is Mobius doesn't even speak to the timekeepers, doesn't know how to get to the timekeepers. So how does she?
Maybe she knows how to get there, but maybe does, but he's never actually.
Oh, it's just meant to be.
Who knows?
Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
Stunningness and bravery.
I saw a theory on it. Someone dropped on Reddit that actually anyone who works at the TVA is actually variants that they've wiped their memories, and they're actually working there now. Because she was saying it's real. She said it's all real, and I'm like, what the fuck is that reference to?
So they're slaves.
Yeah, could be.
She wakes up, doesn't really know what happened, and that's right. Lady Loki's obviously been going around and trying to get all those things that reset the time.
Mm-hmm.
And she's essentially rigged it up to this machine that's going to drop essentially bombs everywhere.
Reset bombs. Yeah.
That's where you get to see her. She reveals herself. And this is where all of these canisters are going to go off to all different places, and they see the time. Like, that's the main line there, and all these offshoots are starting to create. So she's sent those orb things to all these different places and then set them off, and it's set off a chain reaction through the timeline. Mm-hmm. So they can't believe what's going on. And this is also, too, what makes me think that she is a timekeeper. She's actually one of them, the head woman, right? Mm-hmm. She grabs her thing here, right? She sees the offshoot going. She's like, oh my God. Okay. And then she grabs her weapon and she's off. So I just think, I think she's one of them, but we'll soon find out. I could be wrong. And then right at the end here, Lady Loki disappears. I can't remember what she says, but it's sort of like implying, come with me. And Loki goes through it, and Mobius is like,
she said the same thing about Doctor Strange. Remember in Doctor Strange? Strange is like so arrogant that he's thinking that time's all about, like, it's his story, and it's like, and then she says it's not about you, and he has a realization, there's a bigger things going on than me, and then she says basically nearly exactly the same thing. It's like, this shit isn't about you, man. I've got things to do. She left the door open. She left the door open, be like, if you want to come, you can come, and then you went through.
She left the door wide open. She goes, if you want to come, you can come. Just slip it in, slip it out, and you should be right.
Hey, is that Omega right there? Maybe it's like a crossover.
Yeah. You know what's really funny, though, has Lady Loki, is this her first ever appearance?
What do you mean?
Like, has there ever been a Lady Loki in the comics or anything like that? There has? because I can't
Yeah.
find her in here. She ain't in this.
Yeah, but that thing can't cover decades of comics,
Decades of comics, silly reboots, and weird offshoots that dead ended into nothing.
I'm pretty sure he's
Don't we all?
done that before.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I mean, he's a master of illusion, so he can shapeshift to whatever.
I read on this like 2 weeks ago, and I could have told you then. I've forgotten all that shit.
I mean, to be honest, like I think it's to expect this to come to some sort of like revelation or meaningful ending is
just like with
not consistent with the current trend.
And I think all the Easter eggs and everything, like the end credit scene, is all in this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't sit there and I don't pay any mind to it or any attention.
Is that
to
Tony
it,
Stark's dad right there?
That
yeah.
It looks more like the first one from first Iron Man.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, they
it does
all of these like clips and stuff, and I know 2WE, like all of these things probably mean something, and they're just teasing it through this. Anyway, so pretty much, look, the problem for me with these Marvel shows that are coming out with is that I was massively disappointed by WandaVision. And it sort of did get my hopes. It got me boiling a little bit, and then it just fucking deflated me. And then, of course, Falcon and Winter Soldier, I watched one episode. It wasn't too bad of an episode, but there definitely was the woe is me, I'm a black oppressed man that's now Captain America and I'm being frowned upon. So there's definitely all of that. And I mean,
terrorists are good.
Other than there being a lot of women in this series, there's no real, other than that one scene where he's like, "Oh, it suits you talking down to me." That was a little bit on the nose for me. But other than that, I will say the other two were probably a little bit more woke, right, than what I've seen so far in this one. But the problem that I see in this one is that they've actually gone against the source material in a way.
Well, for me, it's, and I haven't watched it, but it sounds like it's just welcome to the mystery box MCU.
It is a little bit mystery box too. They definitely gave us a reveal in the second episode with Lady Loki, but I think we all sort of knew that was coming. And I don't really know. I'll keep watching it. And this is why I say they've sort of gone against the source material a little bit, not massively, because the timekeepers are a thing. There was the time stream, right? And they watch over the time stream. They're based at the Citadel at the end of time. And I obviously only know this because I've just done the video on it, but they are a thing. And they're just adapting it to me incorrectly because they should have gone after the Avengers. They should have gone after Wanda. They were supposed to do that. That's why we didn't meddle in what they were doing. They meddle in the timeline. They as soon as they remove those stones, they start creating offshoot.
For me, it's not a matter of lore and whether or not something's been done in the comic books. It's a matter of you've had this immensely successful run in your MCU. You've had 20 movies, very successful, shit ton of money. I think it's just whether it's comic accurate or lore accurate or not, I just think it's a bad move to basically kind of say, yeah, it kind of
doesn't matter
anymore.
And it's more than just it's not woke. That's a start. But I want something good, that doesn't suck as well.
Mm-hmm. This is the thing,
something with a good story and a payoff, an actual payoff.
So far, Lyndon, out of the 3 Marvel TV series that they've done, it is the best one. But it's boring moments just in the context of, for me, okay, maybe not for you, but for me, there are some boring moments in it. But it's just that whole fact of what sort of Greg just said in regards to they've gone against the grain. They've gone against the source material enough that they've made what came before not really matter in the eyes of a lot of people. Whether or not you like it or not.
They literally tell you that, like, hey, you guys, nothing really matters. And it's up to you to decide how you take that. Because now I can watch it two different ways. I can go, okay, look, this is how things happened as they were in the MCU. People still experience that. Like, Cap still fought, Natasha still died. We still have those experiences. But now you can watch them as, oh, this is how that happened. And now going forward, they're like, okay, let's we've had 20 years of this, but now watching it as Loki, you go, okay, he's jumped straight out of 2012 and now he's doing his own thing. Now we can make this new MCU going forward. We're not tied to the stuff that came before.
No.
Right.
That's incorrect.
But that's incorrect. And that's what I'm saying. The problem is, Ronald, just real quick, is that don't you want to business wise tie into the thing that's been successful that's kind of brought you here?
Yeah, but what can you do? What can you do with that? You can't use the stones anymore. You can't do that.
But see, that's a little bit.
You
incorrect.
don't have to use the stones. There's other things you can do, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, Cap's gone. Iron Man's gone. You want to bring in this new cosmic MCU? This is doing it. Doctor Strange 2, I think, this is supposed to go straight into Doctor Strange 2 because they've opened the timeline and he's supposed to be the one that's bringing it all back together. So that'll be interesting. But
I can't remember what I was going to say now.
I just know. I think for the wide audience that's out there that watched the MCU and made it the success it is, they're going to be a little bit turned off. The wide audience, not white audience. The wide audience, the general audience that was along for the ride, probably is going to be a little bit turned off by the thing. It's that, like, well, okay, now we're basically just rebooting everything. And you can say, well, it's a reboot. It's not. It's an offshoot. To me, I liken it to like the Kelvin universe in the Star Trek world. Like, no thanks.
Boom, there it is.
I'd rather have the regular universe and not have the offshoot because I like the regular universe. And I think a lot of people are going to have that problem. They're like, but I like the regular universe.
Okay, you can still have it. You've got 20 movies.
Yeah, but then, okay, now there's nothing else, so I'm tuned out.
Yeah, but everyone said, I'm done after Endgame anyway, so fucking just watch the first 20 because you're all done after Endgame. That's all I've heard for the last how many months?
Yeah, but you could pull people in.
Yeah, the only reason I'm done with Endgame is because of them going woke and stuff. I would keep watching if it were still good, But like Captain Marvel is where it started, really.
Yeah, that was a subpar movie.
Mm-hmm. And character and
doesn't sound well. It's very mixed what I'm hearing about the Scarlet.
It is.
What a movie.
5-6 years too late too.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about that plenty of times.
And I think there's a very big reason why they've delayed it because I don't think they're very confident in it.
Well, it was supposed to come out April 2020, and that's when everything shoot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that means like things didn't start shutting down till March. They could have done the pay-per-view route or thing to it. They just didn't want to.
They hadn't started the Disney Plus stuff yet, like full on.
That's true. I don't know. It doesn't reach. I'm not hearing a screams of confidence in Black Widow. So we'll see. I'm not going to go see it in the movie theater.
I'm not really seeing screams of confidence in a lot of the things. They were pretty confident when they were advertising Infinity War, weren't they? And they were pretty confident with what they were doing and moving forward with everything. I haven't quite seen that kind of confidence coming out of the people creating the MCU in a long time. And then, of course, you've got the head of fucking the MCU right now, Kevin Feige, coming out and actually admitting that, the reason why WandaVision might have been a little subpar for you was because we couldn't have, the white straight male come in and mansplain to Wanda about why she's so powerful and the chaos and all this kind of stuff. And they've actually gone so far to change the scripts of their movie and the script of the show because of that reason. Like, that's just fucking rocks in your head shit. Like, you'd fucking dumb shit.
Again, especially considering the MCU model is the MCU model is they created an environment where, like, you felt there was the fear of missing out. Like, you were going to miss, if you missed one of these movies, you'd be missing something important. Mm-hmm. And I don't, like, the problem with the D+ shows is that that really kind of like killed that vibe.
Well,
Like,
no,
I don't think
say-
anybody's thinking like I have to watch WandaVision, I have to watch this show in
that
order
started
to
with
like
Captain Marvel.
stay in touch.
That started with Captain Marvel, but the shows was then now what's actually reinforced that for a lot of people, right?
So I think they got a lot going against them. I mean, we'll see if they're going to be financially successful, but it's really going to be how they define that success. Because this show they're never going to release the numbers on, so we'll never know.
Well, they said it's the highest streaming show I don't know if it was the highest streaming Marvel show or the highest streaming D+ show.
So was the Mandalorian.
Now or all time?
I tweeted it out. Let me pull it up.
Because I think that would be the big thing. Is like, is it more popular than other things that aired, or is it just the most popular thing that's on in mid-June?
I think the most popular thing in June is some Pride Month Brigade or something.
Probably.
Oh, don't worry.
They'll have a rainbow episode
of the MCU Disney Plus shows.
They're going to make Loki have sex.
That's a pretty big asterisk.
They're going to make Loki have sex with theyself, and they're going to say that they're non-binary incest.
That would be interesting if Loki has sex with a variant.
Could you imagine? I'm now attracted to Lady Loki.
Really, would it be sex or masturbation? How
that's a good question.
Hey, did you guys see Eric Larson's comments yesterday about there's a threat from upstairs at DC and Marvel that they're going to stop creating new comic content and just start reprinting old shit?
Oh yeah, I did see something like that. Yeah. I saw,
that's not even what the conversation was about, really. But that offhand comment is really going viral and stuff, and it's not really groundbreaking because people have been predicting that could happen for several years now. But if it does, 80, 90 years of comics just gone. The history of it'll be out there, but it'll end. It's insane to think that.
No, I think it's very likely to happen given the numbers that they're selling. And the fact that they're owned or not selling, and the fact that the revenue that they're bringing in compared to the size of the companies that they belong to are just fucking nothing. Like they're just zero. Like as far as percent of revenue to the total company, it's like a hot dog stand at corporate headquarters.
Yeah.
You know what scares me the most with like what Disney's doing with the MCU right now is honestly X-Men. Like it scares me to think what they're going to do with that, or what they're going to change, or just whatever. I think
they feel that X-Men's probably going to be like their ace up their sleeve if this phase of Marvel doesn't perform as well as they want it to.
Yeah, but they're going to bring it in and they're going to make it woke.
Well, of course they will. But it'll still get people. You'll bring in somebody like a JJ that'll they'll fantastically produce a first version of it. People will go see it. They see as far as the next quarterly report, unfortunately, for a lot of these executives, because they're not in for the long haul, and they really only care about now. The only number that seems to matter to the investors is total subscribers. So, like, there's not even an incentive to put out like a massively successful thing, as long as it's not so bad that people don't cancel. That's all you got to do is just keep people from canceling at this point, and you're good.
Yeah.
X-Ma'am.
Yeah, X-Ma'am. Well, I don't know. We'll see where it goes. I mean, I'm honestly hoping that before they come out with the X-Men stuff, they realize the error of their ways and they actually start making content better. But, what's the chances of
X-Men's
that?
not even on the horizon. F4.
Oh, shit, I almost spit up when I read that. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. But you got to make sure that they're dark enough.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to have any white passing Latinx people.
Yeah. Dumb as fuck.
Latinx.
But anyway, well, I think we'll wrap it up there, guys. It's been a great conversation. It's been a great stream, a lot of fun. If you're just tuning in or if you're watching this on the replay, thank you, everyone, for watching this. Everyone in the chat, thank you for being here. We'll go through all of some of you in a second. Tim, thank you, as per normal, for coming on. What have you got coming up, and where can people find you?
You can find me at the link I'm putting in the chat now. And what's coming up tomorrow night, Greg and I will be back on the spacing with Deadwood Dale. If you've never heard of his channel, go check it out. He's fucking hilarious. He does impressions. He has really good takes, no bullshit takes. And he's been saying a lot of the stuff we've been saying for a year now. So I found that really interesting, that there's someone out there that's as smart as we are. Yeah, and I met him on Ryan's top tier stream about 2 weeks ago. And I'm like, I'm going to invite that guy on. And he's like, yeah, I'll come on to the show. And he also has a Lord of the Rings channel called Son of Sauron. He knows a lot about Lord of the Rings, too. So we're going to talk about some of that. And I think he is willing to talk about the Picard trailer, too. So we're going to do that. Yeah. And then no Fall of Night Saturday. Sunday, Greg and I will be back for part 2 of our Cinema Sins Wrath of Khan EFAP breakdown, and we had fun on the first part. Tuesday is our last Orville stream. Then another spacing, that time with Stephen Wainart, who is a snake, if you hadn't heard. And then Saturday night, we will have Fall of Night, and then I'm off for like a week or two. I'm going to be off because 4th of July is here. That's our Independence Day. Rhino and Lyndon, if you didn't know, I'm going to get drunk. I'm going to barbecue and do all kinds of crazy shit because I have some vacation days. So yeah, thanks for having me. Cool. It's been fun.
Nice.
Oh, and you know what else? Another video I have coming up. It's called Rhino Encyclopedia. And the first entry I'm going to read for 2 minutes after I take a minute to read like all the copyright information is going to be the entry on gatekeepers, on gatekeepers, not timekeepers. So get ready for that series starting probably Monday night.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Awesome. Thank you. Everyone go and subscribe to Tim, Open Airlock Policy. And of course, Greg, Lost Jedi 22, thank you for being on as per usual. Let everyone know where they can find you, and hopefully you'll get a John China video soon.
Well, just pretty easy. Lost Jedi 22 on Twitter and on YouTube.
Nice.
I had a Parler, but I don't really look at that anymore, like most of the world. But yep, that's where you can find me. I don't know when I'm going to do a John China thing. I'm kind of tempted to maybe go through that Picard trailer and do a John China thing. Well, I really don't want to watch that goddamn thing again.
We are tomorrow night.
It's so bad.
I'm suffering through the Bad Batch. Do it. Do it.
I don't want to suffer. Unlike the mass cultists and the leftists, I don't have any. Suffering is not virtue to me.
Fair. Everyone, go and subscribe to Greg, Lost Jedi 22, aka John China and Tuscan Bob. Thank you for being on. And of course,
thank you for having me.
Lyndon, thank you for being on and the tail end of this to talk a bit of Marvel. Even though we have a few disagreements, I always like you've got good opinions and you got good takes on it. So thank you for being on. Let everyone know where they can find you and what you've got coming up.
Thank you, Blake, dropping my link. If you want to go head over to my channel, give me some likes on the Loki's Gender Fluid. I'm
I'm downvoting it.
It's fucking do it. I'll get fucking 800 pretty quickly if you all do. I'm at 785 dislikes and 169 uploads, and I've had 600 comments calling me a fucking whatever. So I don't mind. I'm pretty happy about it. I'm pretty sure if I don't have to work tomorrow in the day, I'm pretty sure I'm going to do a full-on breakdown of the first 2 episodes tonight on my one.
Nice.
Very glutton for punishment.
Everyone go and subscribe to Lyndon Hall, and everyone as well, go and subscribe to Lethal Lightning, of course. Yeah, Eric's on screen. He wants
his
food.
live
Okay.
chat.
You want food? What do you
But
want?
you know what else,
thank
Rhino? Like, tell Blake to drop his link, because I
Yeah,
always
Blake,
tell him to
drop your
drop
link.
his link. He's a great guy, and he's always there to help us. And
For sure.
Yeah,
Blake,
drop your link.
Yep. And of course, like I was just saying, Lethal Lightning, go and subscribe to him. We've got the full Aussie this Saturday night or Saturday morning if you're in the States. We had a lot of fun last week, and we're hoping to back that up with another good stream this week. So catch us all over
and
there.
sub to Lethal Live, get him to 1,000.
Yeah, and sub to Lethal Live. That's it. And go and watch some of the content on there to help with some hours. We had Jock Nerdy saying, Streamlabs, cunt. Yeah, I'll get there. I will. I promise. I'll bring it up for $5. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate you. And let's just give Disney another one of
They came
these.
bounding over.
Fuck off! Disney! You fucking cunt!
Cunts! I was off. I was out of timing. Sorry.
Yeah. And as for me, well, I have. I'm going to be doing a few more of the Marvel Encyclopedia videos over the course of the next few weeks. I thought that'd be really good. Just information to put out there for a lot of people that want to, see what the lore is. And of course, next week there'll be Casual Rage 39. We're on the brink of 40 shows, which is really nice. And of course, I'll be doing my Loki review, and my Bad Batch review will be out probably tomorrow at some stage. So everybody, thank you for being here. Everyone that dropped a super chat, I appreciate you. Everyone that didn't drop a super chat and just sitting in the chat or even lurking in the chat, I appreciate you guys just as much.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. I'm not going to go through everyone because, like happened on one of my previous streams, I might end up saying ancient one instead of ancient one. But everyone, thank you all for being here. I will leave you with... let's start with this one and we'll go into it. Bye, everyone.
I don't care!
All I can think about is Ryan Johnson sucking my nuts.
Oh.
Mom, can I have a popsicle? No, honey, you'll spoil your...
Hey parents, tired of those out-of-control kids? Throwing embarrassing tantrums wherever they go. At the grocery store, on the playground, even at the dinner table. You've had it with parenting, but wait, there is a solution. Introducing Nap Time, the latest, most effective tool for child tantrum prevention. It's simple. Just douse a rag with our patented Sleepy Time formula, place it over your child's cry hole, press and hold gently for 8 to 12 seconds, and presto, no more tantrum.
I was beginning to think adoption was the only way out. Then a friend of mine introduced me to Nap Time. It's never been so quiet around here.
The secret lies in Naptime's revolutionary fast-to-sleep formula. Developed by military-trained scientist doctors from NASA, Naptime's powerful molecules rush to the child's brain on contact, gently inducing instant tranquility.
This is chloroform.
Already put those wallet-draining crap factories out on the street? That's okay! Naptime works in any situation. On the golf course. An awkward blind date.
I had a really good time tonight.
It even works on pets.
After we had our first child here, we regretted it almost immediately.
We didn't know that she'd cry so much.
Talk about defective. But thanks to Nap Time, our little Samantha here hasn't made a noise in weeks. I keep her in a shoebox.
Call now and we'll send you your very own 24-ounce bottle of Naptime solution for only 23 easy payments of $1.99. But wait, there's more! Act quickly and you'll also receive the all-new Dream Sack absolutely free. It's compact and portable for those on-the-go tantrums. Just cover it, tighten it, and forget about it. It's that simple.
We can't breathe good.
So if this looks familiar...
I feel pregnant.
Then don't wait! Order today and join the millions of Americans who just can't stop saying...
Thanks, Nap Time.
Thanks, Nap Time. Thanks, Nap Time.
Nap Time! When they just won't shut up. Nap Time is not legal in the following states.